Hey, we are here with Crow Inquisitors. This is episode 45, and we are back. Except we just have David and Jared today because
Everyone else sucks.
it's mainly because Adam is celebrating his anniversary today, which is totally fine. That is a thing you should do, Adam. So have fun, enjoy yourself. So we're gonna do the next 2 weeks sessions of Crow Inquisitors. But we're also doing it today because David and Jared are still free, and they had a thing that they were just involved in, and I think this will be good because then we can we don't have to do anything with just Dellon and Alfons. We can jump right into the pairings that we discussed last time and start off with all that stuff. But today we're gonna do a duel. Dellon is gonna duel.
Duel.
Yeah, he's gonna duel a young man who is Gary.
That's what that's from.
Gary. No, that's Yu-Gi-Oh, but
yeah, I
know. Dellon is gonna duel a man who is gearing for his job. We'll see if he can pull it off. So any I guess first would be Beliefs and Instincts. And we can, if there are any tweaks that you want to do to these as we read them off, feel free for just this session.
Are you ready with yours, David? I'm looking to see. I feel like I was. I don't know if I ever changed them in the thing.
I don't think you did, but I remember we at least had an idea for it. What was I gonna say? The session I assume will be. It's early. The leading up to the duel, including like going to, because I think this is happening at the True Manor, right? That's what was said. It's like I'll just come back to the manor and duel you.
They're not gonna glam it up and like go to like a stadium type thing, or like a maybe not like a stadium, but like a small version, whatever the name is for a small version of a stadium.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I assume that Dellon wouldn't want to make a big fuss of it. I definitely know that it's going to be made into more of a fuss than it is, but I don't know if they would switch locations necessarily. I'm not sure
if they want to destroy their courtyard. And also, if this guy's son does beat Dellon, like in front of people, that's a big boon for him. And if he loses, it's like,
because I'm thinking like I don't know if there was like a medium venue for this really. Like there's the Colosseum, right? Yeah. Where like gladiator fights happen, but I feel like this is a little bit too. It's not that big of a deal for that.
You just have to get the entire Holy Knight Order to fight the entire Royal Knight Order at once. What's this right here, Caleb?
Yeah. Oh, I should move to the map, shouldn't I? What did you ping?
It's on the top right side.
Well, I mean, all of these are just manors. And I think several of them have courtyards.
Good manners, bad manners. Play
manners. So I think, because I don't like the biggest like venue in the area would be the palace, would be like Sergio's palace, but he doesn't want that to happen there.
Yeah. I mean, where's the king staying?
The king is currently like, I think he's probably staying at the palace right now with Sergio. Sergio's offered him hospitality. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. I already have stuff planned for this. The thing I am wondering is if they would change venues. I don't think so. I think they're going to keep it the way, because I think, and the Trues are a important family. I think they have a big enough courtyard that they could pull something like this off.
Yeah.
Because I mean, also like Furio is a knight and stuff. So I think like they've retrofitted one of their courtyards into like a little training ground.
It's also only like an hour. That's not a lot of time to assemble people.
Exactly. Yeah.
Internet.
So it will be a bigger deal than Dellon wanted it to be. Once he shows up, he'll find this out. But
that's fine with me. I don't care.
Yeah, okay. Then Dellon may be expected, but
right.
Yeah, I think it'll still be at the true manor. Anyway, yeah.
As long as it's not at the false manor.
Yeah. Let's do Lucid Instinct, shall we?
Yeah.
Dellon, what you got? We can write these as we need to. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was explaining what the session was going to consist of because this would help us make beliefs.
Oh right. Yeah.
So anything leading up to the belief or leading up to the duel right. itself, and then whatever fallout from the duel is. I don't imagine we'll be doing anything else. So for example, you were going to do the thing with Maria, like
right.
investigate the threat she has discovered. I don't think that's going to be relevant. She's not going to be in this session just because that would end up turning it into a much larger thing.
No, yeah.
So,
I mean, we don't. I mean, the only reason he's doing the duel is because it was part of the thing he already did. So I don't know that like the fallout's going to be something he has a lot of goals relating to.
Yeah,
I feel like just doing the thing is important. I don't know. Maybe Alfons has something going on. I can meddle in and that can be a thing.
Yeah. So I guess for meta purposes, we can talk through this a little bit. So one of the reasons I wanted you to keep your last belief there is because the king is going to show up to this duel, right?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So, what's it called? You will have a chance to determine if your new king is among the enemies of God, right?
Okay.
So I'm imagining there'll be a conversation, probably more likely before the duel than after. But
okay.
So that'll be a thing. There will also be other nobles and stuff there that you could talk to if you wanted to. And yeah, Alfons obviously has stuff that he wants to accomplish. So Alfons, I assume you wanted to do something with Aza, right? Okay, so you wanted to make sure True's allegiance is set accordingly. You won't be able to do either of your first two beliefs today.
Oh, okay.
Well, you could do your first belief, I suppose, if you wanted to convince one of these nobles to pay for your armor. Depends on what avenue you would like to approach that.
I'll just induct you into the Holy Knight Order, and then you can have pseudo armor. That's not.
Oh, cool.
I suppose that's something you could attempt to do. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, if that's something Alfons still wants to work on, the armor, that's fine. You won't be able to work on getting Giolina's help though, so you might want to change that one for now. And I mean, you talked with Aza, right? The noble woman who was there when you were training to be a swordsman. And she, I have a whole thing for her, so making a belief about her would be good as well.
I just don't know what that would be. I don't remember the conversation I had with her. Like,
yeah, I mean, so
when I met her, I don't even remember.
I mean, basically, it was just like, "Hey, do you want to watch Dellon beat up your brother?"
And not that. Like when I originally met her.
I mean, nothing really happened when you originally met her. It was just like, "Hey, she was just there training as well." I think Gale used her as an example of like someone who could do the exercises well or something. When Alfons couldn't. So you could just have a belief about like figuring out where her allegiances are too, right? If she could be an ally or an enemy. And then I have something to go off of that planned. So
okay.
Do you want to keep your armor belief?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that'll still work. Cool then. So then Dellon, you have two belief slots that you could put stuff in. One could just be helping Alfons with what he's doing.
Yeah.
And doesn't even have to, you don't even have to know what Alfons is doing, right? You could just be like,
right.
Alfons is always up to something. I will aid him in his efforts, right?
Yeah.
And then for there, if you had, my guess would be, so your belief is it's time to show them why the Holy Knighthood makes for a dangerous opponent, right? Because I assume your success on that would be beating him in the duel. Do you want another? Maybe we replace that Maria belief with something about the aftermath of the duel. Like, what do you want after you've actually beaten them? What would be like your follow up to it in terms of, are you going to try to make Furio into an ally? Like, are you going to try to do something like that? Are you going to try to impress upon the crowd, like, this is why you don't mess with Holy Knights, and then make Assuasion? in a particular manner, that would be another belief. Something like that could be applicable.
Yeah, so like, I mean, I don't know that he cares about Furio that much. He's just doing this as like I said I would do this. Making a switch to the crowd is an interesting point. The issue is that I'm trying to convince people that if we go back to war, it's just going to be a bad thing and we're going to lose. But if I
this might do the opposite.
Well, that's my concern. I don't know that I can convince them. I guess I could convince them that the king isn't prepared to go to war. Like, this is the best the king has to offer.
Yeah.
But I don't know that that's suasion, and I think that's my best one.
It could be suasion. I was thinking, like, originally, right? It could be suasion if you wanted to say, like, hey, listen, like Sergio and the Holy Knighthood is against this war. If you go ahead and do this, not only will you lose because hey, I just beat up his best knight, but you will also be going against doctrine and God.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. I did say
you can just use you beating him up to spice up the real role, which is like you are all religious Serrano. You should be listening to me.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Because in theory, everybody has the religious on their character sheets. Of the NPCs, right? Because of the cultural stereotypes.
Do on this character sheet. I can't.
Yeah, then when you're finished writing that up, you can read them off.
All right. So the king has formed his own circle of knights. It is time to show them why the Holy Knighthood makes for a dangerous opponent. I would like to reconnect with my brother after these long years. I will assist him with whatever he is up to. Maria and I are working to protect Ceran. I will convince this crowd that war will only result in further devastation. I think I spelled wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Is it an A? Okay, I couldn't figure it out yet. All right, without the Holy Order. And on my blade of my life, I shall hold the enemies of God at bay. I will determine if our new king is among them.
Very fun.
Instincts never go unarmed under any circumstances. Do whatever it takes to win when something more important than myself is at stake. And to never leave a word against the Holy God unchallenged. Traits are disciplined, haughty, religious, early riser, prominent scar, faithful, mark of privilege, tonsured, fearless, believer, gifted for the potential discipline, sworn to the order, and commanding aura, and nimble. Best one.
Very fun. Okie dokie. Alfons, what about you?
Alrighty. Am I muted? Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. If we're going to be fighting demons, I need to be properly armed. I'll find a way to get armor. Any allies can be useful. I will see if Aza can be of use to us. Dellon is naive when it comes to the church. I'll make sure True's allegiance is set accordingly. Instincts. Always find a reason to use my power. Always surpass Dellon. And always do what I can to protect you.
Very fun. Traits.
Okay. Rabble rouser. Haughty. It might just work. Confident. Licentious. Mark of privilege. How do we say that word?
Licentious.
Licentious. Very sensual.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's literally the point of the trait, yeah.
Gifted. Tall tale teller. Rapier wit. Familiar face. Charismatic. Fleet of foot.
Very fun. Okay, so I think we open up with any preparations that you guys might want to do before you head over there. If there are any. If there aren't, then we can just go right there. But
I mean, I figured I was still there.
Has to force field on myself, I guess.
You guys left the manor.
David left.
You guys were walking out. We described you both walking out of the manor at the end.
Like you had a conversation with the lady when we left. So
yes, exactly.
Yeah, I thought that's where Alfons left off. Was there talking?
You left off with a conversation, but we were describing you guys like leaving the manor. It would have been common courtesy for you to do so before the duel to give him some time to prepare. But if you wanted to go back early, Alfons, you certainly could and have a conversation.
Because I had to go get my armor on anyway.
Yeah.
So
okay. Alfons didn't really have anything to get prepared other than
yeah. So you can just come back after a short amount of time.
On his own, yeah. Or with his daughter there, I don't really care if she's there.
So you wanted to go and talk to the daughter and him?
Sure.
And or him.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we can start with that. Let's have you. So you obviously reach the manor, and the servants let you in and whatnot. There's no trouble there. I think who do you want to try to talk to first? You don't see either of them just in like the foyer or anything. It would just be so as the servants lead you in, they ask, like that. I guess they probably ask you when you come. Either way, they're expecting you just people to show up for the duel, so it's not too big of an issue to get in the manor. But yeah, who are you gonna talk to first?
I mean, I guess I just pull a servant over and ask where those two are, or we'll just Mr. True, Lord True.
Yeah. I think he says that Lord True is he makes a face, this random chamberlain or whatever, right? Makes a face and then says, yes, Mr. True is currently indisposed, but he will be available before the duel begins. And you're not entirely sure what that means. You could try to press further and figure out what it means, but
I may as well. It's just a servant.
Yeah, what do you actually say or do? Because you could try to read them with like an untrained empathy, but I assume you want to do something.
You mean a trained empathy?
Oh, you do have empathy trained. Yeah, I mean you could literally just try to read them if you'd like. Then
yeah, may as well.
Yeah. Okay, so are you looking for reading a mood? Do you just want to know like how he feels about the indisposal of his master, or do you want to know? Let me find the obs here. I can give you some options. You can also see a character trait for Ob 3, see a die or call on trait for Ob 4, sense a person's intent for Ob 4. Those are probably the ones that you could actually accomplish.
I guess just the mood would be fine.
Mood is fine, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. By forking court gossip-wise?
Sure. Yeah, that might give you some context for what's happening. I think we'll just do those.
Yeah, I don't think anything else would fit.
Yeah. So it's an Ob 2 empathy.
Oh well.
Yeah, so not too bad.
Crap. I put the Ob at advantages.
Ooh, actually, before you roll, let me check real quick. David, do you remember how it works when a skill opens and it has two shades? Like the two different stats that it's based on, and so it has two different shades?
Oh.
I'm looking it up right now.
I'm guessing, so you average them, and I'm guessing you just add 2 before you average.
That'd be my guess too. Because actually you would not have a gray shade empathy because it's based on will and perception.
It would just count as higher before you.
But I think it would just count as higher. I'm checking.
Okay.
Let's see, advancement. Yeah, let's see. Being learned. Yeah, root stats. Because you're choosing which stat you take the test on when you're doing it being learned. And so you could have done, will gray shaded, but once it's actually opened, it changes. Yeah, here we go. Opening the skill. A new skill opens with the same shade as its root stat. If the root has 2 shades, the skill opens at the darker shade, but you add 2 to the total before factoring the root. Yep, that's what we thought. So that would have meant I guess we just because this already would have happened. It's just an empathy 6, but it's sorry. Because it's the root that you're averaging. That's what's being added to. Let's see.
Yeah. So what's his?
I don't think has your will advanced while we've been playing.
I believe it used to be 3.
Did it used to be 3?
I think it started with either 3 or 2.
Let's see if it matters. Okay, so if they were both 3 and you're adding 2 to will for the purposes of this, then that's a 8. It's a 4. it's not going to matter. It's going to be 4 either way. Even if you opened empathy when your will was at a 4, it's the same because it's rounding down. Okay, so I think I will give you, because you would have opened this like that would have been what it is when you open it, right?
I'm pretty sure I started the game with observation. So
right. Okay, so I'm just gonna add 1 to your skill then. I think it's black shaded, but it's a 5. I think that's probably the way the math shakes out. All right, cool. Anyway. Yes, this isn't just pure social skill. It's also, you're noticing things and whatnot.
So what was the
Ob 2?
Okay, it should still be easy.
Yeah, it should be. Yep, there you go. Okay, yeah. So he seems disgusted.
Oh.
So
is
it's probably not
Do I recognize the disgusted look?
Yes, this look has been directed at you many a time, Alfons.
Oh boy. Is it just licentious behavior or is it incestuous behavior?
It's not him and Aza getting it on in the other room. Okay. No, that is not what's happening. Sure. No. It's definitely it's licentious. It's probably not. I mean, so this guy's wife died a while ago. So if he's getting it on with anyone, it's technically illegal because this is Ceran. So yeah, that's pretty much all the clue, the context clues you can pick up from his face. But
I wouldn't want to disturb him. I give him him a knowing look. Do you just mind setting me up where he'll be when the fight starts? Would be one.
Yes. I suppose we could do that. Yes, they're getting the courtyard ready for the duel. It will be. It's being prepared right now. I can lead you there if you'd like.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, so I think it leads you out into this like fancy courtyard. There's probably like gardens and then like a little training mat yard thing, right? Training ground with dummies and stuff. That's being, and the actual training equipment is being like cleared away. And they're getting it ready for the duel itself. But yeah, there's like a spot probably underneath like some sort of awning, right?
Is it like somewhat set apart from where other people would be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like some sort of like gazebo awning type situation in the garden to like that's adjacent to the training ground, so you can still watch and see what's going on, but it's like it's separate from other people. And there's like a couple of there's like furniture and stuff set underneath this awning that you can lounge at if you'd like and wait for him.
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good. I don't think you see Aza before the duel. She at least doesn't come out here. So I think Alfons is just waiting. So Dellon, is the only thing you're doing, you're just like getting your armor on and then coming over at the appropriate time. Okay.
Plan.
So I think there probably will be a conversation that happens between you and Oberdun before the duel actually begins.
Bring Maria if possible, just because this is relevant for what she's been trying to do, and she might be better at closing the point on this than I am.
I would love to give you that, but she actually is involved in something right now. She has a belief that she's like working on, and I don't think she would be here for this.
Okay.
It'll be more. We'll understand more next session when you get to actually catch up with what she's been doing. I think it'll be suitably dramatic, and yeah. But Averio is with her right now with whatever she's doing as well.
So. Right. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So, Alfons. Oberdun shows up, and like there are maybe a couple of nobles that have like showed up and you hear at a distance, like maybe coming from a room inside, the manor. But the doors are open or something. But no one has come out yet except for servants. Like the only people in this courtyard are just like servants that are getting the place set up. But Oberon comes out first, and like I think his servant probably just told him that you were there waiting for him. And so he comes over and has a grin on his face and plops down in the seat next to you. Sort of unlordly like, right? He's acting like a peer right now and not a lord. And he clasps his hands in his lap and looks at you and just says, great day for a duel, isn't it?
Oh, fantastic. The weather is wonderful. I trust you enjoyed yourself, and I give him a knowing look.
Yeah, he pauses for just a moment. And again, this guy's played by Dennis Quaid. He looks like that.
That makes it so much better.
kind of a weird, not creepy isn't a good word, but like it borders on creepy. The smile he gives is a tight-lipped sort of. The mirth, the only mirth he feels is for himself and at others' expenses, right? So, he pauses momentarily and looks surprised, but quickly recovers because he remembers who you are, right? And he nods and he says, "I trust you'll be discreet, Alfons. You always were before."
Oh, of course. Discretion is one of my many talents.
I suppose you'll want to use this in some way to leverage.
Of course. We'll get to that.
I'm sure we will. Alphonse, what are you here for? What would you like to speak to me about before the duel begins?
Well, I suppose I'll get right into it. You don't seem much for the whole rigmarole of pleasantries and etiquette and beating around the bush.
I'm sure we already had some of those earlier today. Let's get down to business.
All right, then. Well, I know my brother has convinced you to support the church.
He has indeed.
But when it comes to the church, he can be trusting to a fault. He'll trust them until the point where he can no longer turn a blind eye and has to take the reins into his own hands and change things himself. And I'm sure a man of the court such as yourself has heard the rumors of my uncle.
I have heard some things, yes. So, I have to say, I'm not surprised by this, Alphonse, especially from you. What would you have me do instead, then?
Well, that time when my brother has to take the reins may be approaching sooner than we think. Ultimately, what I'm getting at is, yes, support the church for now, but ultimately your allegiance will belong to Dellon. Whoever he ends up siding with and whatever he chooses, you'll support him.
I see. And what are you willing to offer me for this extra stipulation? Going against the church is not a small order.
Well, you needn't worry about backlash from the church or the crown or whomever.
You may say I needn't worry, but I think I will worry all the same. Thank you very much, Alphonse. It is my job to worry.
Yeah. If you remember, the last change of regime, so to speak, was the sole result of the will of just 6 men. And those 6 are in Lucerta right now as we speak. And just imagine what we'll be capable of with some bona fide allies this time.
Alphonse, I would like to remind you which one of those 6 men was the real linchpin in that revolution. It was not you, and it was not Dellon. It was Sergio. And that would be who I would be turning against. I've heard stories, Alphonse, of that night of that day when he murdered the head of the Inquisition, stormed into the bishops and dropped a bloody ring before them and told them to make him the high priest? That is not a man I tread over lightly.
Well, who do you think set that all into motion? Whose idea this charade was?
I think it was Vada's, the head of the Inquisition. I think you give yourself a little bit too much credit, Alphonse, and I don't mean that as an insult, but you are smaller than you think in this world. No, I need something more from you. I need information on the Order, Alphonse. You mentioned this before. My daughter, apparently, sort of part of a secret shadowy organization.
Well, that's something we could. Those are agreeable terms.
All right, so now it's time to make the roll. And if you succeed, then he'll go along with it. If you fail, he'll pretend to go along with it.
Yeah.
And when it actually comes down to it, he won't side with Dellon.
And there's one more thing I need to add on, so I can get one more.
Sure.
One more dice, or maybe 2 more dice.
Yeah.
I look to him and I say, after we come to terms, so to speak. Dellon's a good man. Prove genuine, and you'll be a cherished ally and maybe even a friend. And that's much more I could say than for Sergio or even the Crown. And I freeze time for the 2 of us. It's okay if we. It's okay if we if this is just for flavor.
And you don't get dice to it. If you would like to get dice to it, you'll have to roll. But I assume that's not what you want to do.
This is for the intimidation dice.
Right.
And sure. I freeze time all the servants in the courtyard stop moving.
Yeah, so this isn't you actually freezing time. It's just you're freezing your perception, both of your perceptions of time. But I think it can still work, right? It's for a moment, you can both. It's not that you can both talk to each other because it's still just perception, but there is a moment where you're both aware of this freezing in a way that the servants aren't. And things are going very slowly, and it's just you looking at him, right? Just yes, I have this power, right? Sure.
And if you prove malignant, well, if Dellon doesn't kill you himself, I most certainly will. And I can draw your final moments out to feel like an eternity. And then at the end of that, time goes back to normal and he's smiling and he's has an outshaken hand.
Okay, sounds good. Let's roll that persuasion. It's gonna be an ob 8. His will is 6, but I think he's starting to be I think I need to I think I want to try to play both sides here and leave my options open. But if you get the ob 8, then it will be you push past his scheming nature and actually impressed upon him the seriousness of it.
What would the ob for getting 1 dice for the spatial discipline be for doing
that? Good question.
It's 2, right? You're making a +1 dice for 1 test.
I believe so. Yeah, and it's just against you, so I think that is the way that it works. Yeah, I think it's just does spatial have a increased ob to advantage? It should be in your magic handout. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, you didn't send it yet.
I did.
Oh, you did. Never mind. Facebook doesn't update very quickly on my computer for some reason. Let's see.
Spatial does not have a bonus for, or no, that's spatial. Sorry, continuous is what we're looking at, right?
Yeah.
It's no increased obstacle for advantage, and so that would be an ob 2, and you're just doing it against yourself for 1 test. So yeah, ob 2. Yep, as David said.
Okay, cool.
And you don't. It's not even a link test. You don't have to get over that obstacle. It's just get on the obstacle, which you did.
Yep.
There you go.
All right. So I'll of course do persuasion.
Yep.
Bullcrap wise, falsehood.
Okay.
Would etiquette or no?
Wait, what are you bullcrapping or falsehooding here?
The fact that it was literally just the 6 of us.
Oh, sure, yeah. Okay, yeah. He was trying to call you on it, but yeah.
Yeah, no, there were a few strings, and I doubt Dellon would ever consider this guy a friend.
Sure, yep, true.
But yeah. I think I'll use Tall Tale for the fact that it was solely the 6 of us that did that.
Sure, that's fine.
So
there was also like a huge battle that happened with, so yeah.
Etiquette or no?
No, this is kind of happening like under the table, right? Yeah.
We kind of dropped etiquette right at the beginning, but
yep.
Haggling because I'm offering something.
Well, you fork it, yeah.
Yeah. Fork it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm saying you wouldn't be able to make a haggling roll itself here, but yeah, it's a fork.
Court gossip wise?
Well, you didn't actually bring up his
No, not his thing. Trevor's thing.
Oh, yes, court. Yeah. You've heard the rumors of Serragon, yeah.
City-wise?
No.
Okay. Well, noble-wise?
Noble-wise, yeah, because he's a noble.
Nobles. Intimidate? Because of intimidate?
Yep.
Inconspicuous? Because
no, like that's what you're doing, and you would have to make the roll if you were trying to keep it from prying eyes, but like, yeah.
Okay. All right, so correct. Okay, so that was count 1, 2, 3. All right, so 8 forks.
Good luck.
The silverware.
Easy peasy lemon squeeze.
Yeah, I was gonna say very rarely does Alphonse fail a persuasion test, so I try. I give him ob 8, and
yeah,
sounds good. Yeah, so Operdon pauses for a moment because he was intimidated, right, by that moment of clarity you gave him, and then he slowly has his like tight-lipped smile come again, and then he shakes your hand. He says, "You've convinced me, Alphonse. I may try to play the game, but you have shown me that you have already made several moves in advance. And will follow Dellon when he has to stand up against the church. He's not a man I would like on my bad side anyway."
Yeah, he can be scary.
Or no, I guess he says, I don't want to be, that's a man I don't want to be. How do I say this sentence? He's trying to say,
wrong side
I don't want to be on his bad side.
Dellon is a man you don't want to be on the wrong side of. It's like weirdly worded in English, but yeah.
I can attest to that personally.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
I suppose we can speak of the devil and I can show up.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because then we can do order stuff. You can tell him more about the order later. But yeah, I assume Dellon would probably show up early to the duel.
Yeah, I mean,
early, but
probably.
He's the sort of, you have early riser as a trait, so I feel like that probably carries over to you get at least 5 minutes early to everything,
Yeah.
If you're on time, you're late.
Yeah, right. I'll probably try and help myself out here with some force fields.
Do a preparatory magic roll.
Yeah. Does bloody versus count as 1 roll or 2?
Bloody versus is 1 roll. You're just splitting the roll into 2. It counts as, because it's a bloody versus test. It counts as one test.
That's what I thought. You're making
too. 2 separate rolls. Yeah.
Cool.
I had to look this up the other day.
All right, I'm trying to find there it is. Okay. So I can fork in 9 disciplines wise to this, right? Is that the thing we decided?
Yes. Yeah, because sorcery itself usually gives like forks like that.
Okay.
Cool. As options.
Let's give myself 3 orthodox.
You're just doing the advantage thing again.
Yeah.
For 1 test.
2. Did it work?
I don't see a roll yet.
Okie dokie.
There you go.
What? Right. Open-ended. I was like, how did I don't even have that many dice?
Yeah, you rolled 2 6s right off the bat. So
I'm glad the other one didn't go through because that one's pretty good. And I have no idea what the other one might have been. All right.
Yeah, so we see Dellon with like a shimmering, kind of wavy force field around him.
Oh yeah.
Very fun. So about the time you get there, Dellon, that's when the nobles that were kind of talking in whatever like dining room or chamber or whatever inside the house start to mill out into the garden. So when you show up, probably wave to Alpha. Do you like go over to talk to Alphons when you see him there with Oberdon, or you just like go and like stretch or whatever? Just in like the first initial minutes.
Sorry, that was supposed to be Ob 3.
Was it harder to do?
Yeah,
advantage for
penalty.
potential.
Yeah.
Does that change
you still got it?
Is it?
It is a difficult test, but you still got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I also don't need a difficult test. Dang it. I need a challenging test. Oh well. Whatever. Anyways, sorry. I think he probably just starts preparing for the duel, like just double checking everything's strapped down in his armor properly, and putting oil on his sword, that kind of stuff.
Yep. Sounds good. So yeah, you just probably wave to Alphons and start doing that, and then we see as you're stretching or whatever, right? And doing the preparations that you described, we see a group of nobles kind of mill out into the garden, and it is Valerio, right, is the king, along with like a bunch of carriers on, right, hangers on, including a red-haired woman that's not Aza. It's a different red-haired woman. One of the things that I was figuring out some world building stuff the other day, and I think as a world building note, just for everybody, I think red hair is a possibility for Serrano natively, because they are. I think the way that it works is they're Garrick, but the offshoot of Garrick that they came from also has some like Felic blood in it, the kind of northern Celtic peoples. So I think it's like probably a thing that happens rarely, but like there is technically some blood among the Serrano that comes from the north. So this is, I think, a hair color that can happen. But so there's a red-haired woman who's probably not hanging on to him, but like one of his nobles that he has here. He invited a bunch of the important nobles. So basically, Oberdon and extended I think Furio told the king about the duel, and then the king was like, "Okay, this is important. We need a bunch of nobles here, so that if you win, like this is going to be great for my reputation." But there's a woman that Alphons you recognize as you just look over.
Is there a woman I don't recognize?
Well, there's particularly a woman you recognize that's been on screen in the game before. We didn't name her when she showed up, but her name is Damiana Sant. This is her. I apparently didn't write down which actress this is. I'll have to find that out again. But she looks like that. Alphons, this is the woman way back when at the beginning of season 2, you needed someone to go give the sword to Dellon because you didn't want to give Dellon's sword back to him.
I remember that.
And basically she tried to get you to sleep with her. And it was like one of the very rare moments Alphons managed to resist that temptation. And she always told you, like, I'll find you again, and like we're gonna like you won't resist me the next time we meet.
You can't insult a lady like that. You'll sleep with anybody, but I heard
she's just a servant girl.
So she was a servant girl last time you met her. Apparently she is now like a courtier in one of these important nobles' courts. That's what it looks like.
Fancy. I wonder how she got there.
Yeah, exactly. And let me double check if there's a person that makes sense to be.
At it.
I don't think the person who she's like hanging on right now is important for like the game's sake. I don't think they have a name or whatever. It would be a dude, but I think there's definitely a moment where Damiana notices you, Alphons, right? Like you.
I roll observation to see if I notice her.
I think like you guys are just sitting. Like I don't even think talking that much anymore. So there would be no reason you wouldn't be able to like notice the gaggle of people that just walks in.
I'm just trying to form tests.
Okay. I see.
Yeah. You needed like a really
perception.
You needed a hard city-wise test or something, didn't you?
Yeah.
See if you recognize everybody.
I roll city-wise to see every single person that's there and know them.
No, I don't think so. That'd be noble-wise, pretty much. So I think there's a moment that passes between you where she like ooh, she's surprised but delighted to see you, and then gets like a predatory look on her face. But then the
she
person
sees I'm muscle bound.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, she's very interested in this. But then the glance moves away and she moves on as they mill about the garden. But Dellon, if you wanted to talk with the king before the duel, now would be the time.
Right. Do you want to be juiced?
Yeah, I was going to ask about that, but
get some magic steroids from Alfons.
I feel like now
I will juice you.
Now that we're here, I feel like it's too late. If we'd have been like outside, I'd have said yeah. I'm fine using my own magic for this, but using other people's magic feels like cheating.
Okay.
Dellon, you do have an instinct for this. Do whatever it takes to win when something more important than myself is at stake.
True, but he can't like subtly do this. And the thing that's at stake,
you guys could like go off into another room and roll inconspicuous or something to.
Yeah, I have inconspicuous and stealthy.
Yeah,
I guess it is true. I just don't feel like he's that unconfident, or like, you know what I mean? I don't feel like he feels like he needs to.
Oh, sure.
You know what? I have got an instinct.
I guess you could just do
always
it anyway.
Find a reason to use my powers. I go up to the other guy.
You're gonna try to hinder him?
No, I'm gonna help him.
You're gonna help the other guy?
Furio?
Yeah. I'm gonna help Furio.
Wait, why wouldn't you just use him on me?
Because you don't want it.
Well, you don't know I don't want it. You haven't asked me.
Oh, yeah. I'll go up and ask. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, I thought you were just going to do it anyways. I thought that's what you were saying. Like, you weren't even going to ask.
No, so the idea would be like, if you turn him down, then
he'd ask. Yeah.
I want to do some. I want to use my powers anyway.
I see. So. Okay, I guess I misunderstood the. Okay.
Yeah. They're like, hey, you want some juice?
Alfons opens his trench coat.
What are you buying? Yeah, I think he says, I have my potential discipline, but if we use your powers, it may look like we're, I don't know, cheating, or that it wasn't me that won, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know how nobles are.
Oh, yes, I know. I am.
Thank you, though. Yeah, I mean, yes.
Okay.
I suppose.
And I'm like, well, if you don't want it, I give you a wink, and then I go to Fury.
Great.
So you don't see Fury around yet. Do you want to go look for him?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Dellon, did you want to have that conversation with the king beforehand, or?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I would say to him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll make a roll, Alfons, for you to find out where Furio is and whatnot. But I think we'll skip over to Dellon if he wants to do this first.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just go over and like I don't really know what I'm doing here, but I guess I like, he bows in front of the king and
and Valerio looks perfectly, like, he doesn't look like offended or miffed by your presence. He returns the bow, and I think if you'd like to make an etiquette roll to get, I don't know if you even have etiquette.
Probably not.
Then I would like you to make an etiquette roll because that actually would matter then. Like, if you already had the skill, then it's like, whatever, you can just do it. But if you aren't good at etiquette, that probably matters to him. So
okay. I don't know what that's.
It's based on think it's based on both. I think it's will and perception. Let me look. Yeah, it's both. It's will and perception.
Just roll what I want then, or
you can choose which stat to roll on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, I assume knowing how to do a basic bow isn't that difficult, right? It's like I've seen these people do this 100 times.
Well, I think the idea would be that this is your etiquette throughout the whole conversation, right? It's like, do you know the proper stuff when you're talking to the king?
I guess, yeah.
And it's not. This isn't gonna like ruin your chances. It's just gonna make it more difficult if you fail, right? Whatever you want to do.
And I can't fork into learning stuff.
It is unfortunately an ob4 because it's etiquette for the king is difficult. Apparently,
I literally can't succeed that, but that's okay.
Oh, you almost got it. You can spend a fate to re-roll one.
Hey, how was that routine?
So you didn't do it in being learned. You just rolled your stat.
Oh, right. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
How do you play this game? Let's see. Add my brain etiquette.
I believe it's having you roll the one that's first on the.
I mean, I'll just tell it which one I want to roll, right?
I don't know if it prods you. I think it's like the first one that's listed there of the two, right?
There weren't two to begin with. It just had perception as the default from the first.
Right. What I mean is when you actually roll the thing.
I see what you mean. It draws
the dice is determining. I think it's the first one. We can check, but I assume you wanted to do will, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If you don't have 6 dice when you roll it, we can do it again. But
it has the same aptitude score as the rest of them that do have will. So I'm assuming will is what it's going off of right now.
Well, it doesn't. It has actually 5, but it does say 6 next to.
Or sorry, that's what I was looking at. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that the dice that you roll instead?
That's the dice. Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, there's a number for it. Yep.
Gotcha.
Perfect. Okay. So if you ever wanted to get a perception test for whatever reason and wanted to switch those around, you could. But
yeah, why is it asking me for an additional ob? What does that mean? Never seen that before.
So because obs factor differently when you're doubling, like an additional ob, like if you
just had like a penalty for end, it doesn't double.
Yeah, for some situational thing, gotcha. It would tack on the end and not double. So that's why they have a separate thing.
Hey, look, I failed. Who would have guessed? It still says routine.
That was actually a really goal. Yeah, it says routine because that's what it counts for.
I got 3
6s. It counts as a bubble. You got 3 6s.
Okay. Well, I wanted a test on my will over a bubble and etiquette, but that's all right. Yeah, I did. But,
I was gonna say, you spend how many fate do you have? You have 12. I would spend 2 fate on this dude, like 4 dice against that. That's open ending. That's possible.
What happens if I fail this and don't?
Just a +1 knob. +1 knob to what you're doing with him.
I don't even know what I'm doing with it, but yeah, sure, why not?
I was gonna say that's a really lucky rolls with the 6s. Yeah, so
was not. What is does Arthur go on will then?
Yeah, the Arthur would go on will.
Okay. So there's a fate button. So I'm rerolling. Reading up is 5, right?
Reading on is 5. If you wanted to spend 2 fate, then you can reroll 4 dice.
Yeah.
Oh, David.
0 successes. Right. That's terrible.
That's awful. Oh man. I mean, they call it luck for a reason. That's about right.
And it's like Dellon. This is the fun thing about Dellon, right? He's perfectly fine in any sort of church etiquette sort of situation, right? He knows doctrine. He knows what he's supposed to do religiously. But in terms of politics, he's not good at this.
Yeah, I mean, I probably just give him a military bow, and then that's
exactly. You don't give the right bow. It's you're giving him either like the holy knight bow or the military bow, and neither of them are correct.
Yeah.
And again, it's not like he says anything or like freaks out. It's just that like he has a slight frown, and then throughout your whole interaction, you'll be failing small etiquette things that will just kind of stack up. And
I stick my finger in my nose.
It's not that bad. But.
So then, I say, I didn't expect to have such prestigious. It's not company. What is it? You die in a video game, you watch somebody else play.
Such a prestigious audience.
Yeah, audience is better. I was going to say spectator, but I was losing the word. Yeah, audience. That works. You don't expect to have such a prestigious audience.
And Valerio says, well, Furio is my most skilled knight, and he informed me of the duel that was about to happen. I figured as his liege lord, it behooved me to witness the duel.
I'd like to think that was in character.
Yeah, sure. I was trying to think of where Dellon wants to go with this.
Yeah, I think an outside observer would notice that Valerio is making an attempt to be high and formal with all of his language because he's noticing you're not.
Yeah. See, I mean, my intention, I guess, here was to see if he was an enemy of the church. So
you could do that by like convincing him of something or using a social skill, but you could also do. You don't have empathy, but
I mean, I feel like I already know that he is, so I'm trying to figure out what my angle is here to like what I'm trying to glean here, because
we can tweak the belief if you wanted to.
Yeah, I guess I'm just looking for proof. Really, is more
sure
the angle, right? Like I'm already under the impression that that's the case because he's actively butting heads, but I guess I'm more wondering if I don't. Can I make a doctrine roll and see if I can I want to test his religious awareness or I don't know, acumen, whatever, because even if he's an opponent to the structure of the church, I guess maybe I'm more interested in whether or not he's actually any kind of devout in any way, and see if I think maybe that's more on a personal level, not I know he's politically our opponent, but I want to find out if he's
does he actually believe in the great God?
Is he just faking
does he pray? Yeah.
So can I I don't know.
I think that's a suasion test, right? I don't think, because doctrine would be like knowing things about it, and but I think what you're trying to do, you're trying to get him to make a doctrine test for you, and so I think if you'll have to say whatever you say, but you could frame it as like a suasion and be like, it's what the politics you're engaging in are dangerous. I just want to make sure that your soul is being looked after. Mm-hmm. Would you mind I don't know how you would.
I ask him. Okay, yeah, no, I know too.
Okay.
So I say, as the highest authority in the area, I would be honored if you would give a blessing to this duel before we initiate.
Yeah. Okay. I think his initial response would be, "Oh, no, please. That would be you or Sergio, much more qualified for that sort of thing."
I mean, that's true. Well, Sergio's not here, so
he is, and he also would have said high priest and not Sergio. But
right. And I think Dellon says, "Well, my uncle is not present, and I am."
It'd be improper for me to bless my side of the duel, and
that's probably a good guy. It would be uncouth of me to bless a contest that I am competing in.
And so you want to frame it as like a suasion, correct? Or something else, maybe.
I guess it's kind of a practical request. That's not really like a for your sake of your soul.
I was like, as you've worded it right now, it's not about his immortal soul. I'm not sure what it would be though.
Yeah, I don't really know that there's a play I can make there. I mean, I'm trying to play off of his sense of you're being important, and this is what important people do. But I'm not really sure what role that is.
That sounds like persuasion. Then you're just like, convince him is because it's in his own best interest.
I'm sure I can't succeed that, but yeah.
Well, Valerio's young. Let me look.
He's important. He has 6 will. Let's be honest.
He has a 5 will.
Okay. Can I don't think I have anything to fork in this really. Unless I can fork in doctrine because I'm explaining to him why he should do it.
If you'd like to make a linked test with Doctrine to make the thing that you said true, like because he is the highest authority, like he can do something like this and it's proper.
Why not? Yeah, I mean, and he's also like, if he was just the highest authority and not like religious in nature, but he's supposed to be, devout. So
sure, exactly, yeah.
And I suppose you couldn't be the king of Ceran without being devout in theory.
Yes,
in theory.
In theory.
What's the? Do I have any? Okay, great.
Let's say
do I have any forks to this?
Doctrine?
Let's see.
Let's say an Ob 3 Doctrine.
Okay.
So if you get on 3, then nothing happens. If you get over, then you get extra dice.
I don't think I have any forks for this.
So I think it'll be true no matter what if you get a 3, but it just won't help necessarily until you get higher.
Of course.
Oof.
Big surprise. 3 1s. I mean, I'll coin flip this. I don't want to make it harder for myself.
Yeah.
Not that anyone ever succeeds at coin flip.
Hey, I have a coin flip in my Magic deck. There's a card that gives me. Hey, see, yeah, and I was gonna say I get it plenty of times.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't, but I got it this time.
So it is true, but like it's not giving you extra dice to the test.
So persuasion. I don't think I have any other relevant things.
I was thinking oratory because like he's surrounded by hangers on.
That's true. That is kind of the point. Yeah.
And part of this is like if it is proper for him to do this, he probably should do it because he's surrounded by other people.
Right. That's true. Cool. Someone want to help? Alfons.
Alfons went off to find someone else.
Wait, or what am I? What would I be helping with?
Helping me convince the king to pray, but I
don't think
you hear Alfons from across the court. He's like, "Oh, I'll do it. I'll do it." Wait, I'm like, "Oh God, no."
Yeah.
Great. Does that actually help me?
Well, I mean, I didn't think Alfons was actually here.
Oh yeah, because he went to go find what's his superior. Right?
Yeah, I roll the power that I just named, that I just came up with the name with.
Okay.
What's happening?
Called crap. What did I name it?
I assume it's a continuous discipline thing.
Fated vision, seeing the future.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, sure. Yeah, Alfons, if you'd like to, you could roll that to have seen the fact that you need to be here to help Dellon before you head off. Yeah.
What is the ob?
Oh, that's a good question. I suppose let's look at your handout here.
Oh, I also named the last thing that I used too.
I mean, the only thing I can think of would be like arcane knowledge or whatever it is. Like you use it instead of a mental skill, but I don't know what mental skill you'd roll to see the future. So.
I think it would be because he can do practical magic with this too, right? And so it'd be.
Oh, okay. I'm not very familiar with practical magic.
It'd be as if he was rolling astrology.
Right. Oh, astrology. Right? Okay.
So practical, yeah, basically means you can sub it in for other skills. You're just trying to get a sense of fate, right?
I was thinking something else.
So I think, I'm just trying to think of which one of the like astrology obs it would be. Let me take a look.
Preferably like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I'm thinking either 2 or 3.
I'm gonna fail this roll anyway, so we'll just throw a number out there.
Is it constructing a person's horoscope or determining the auspices of beginning an enterprise?
I think it's probably more the second one.
Okay.
Yeah, the second one.
So it's going to be an ob 4 altogether because you get a +1 ob to do astrology with this as opposed to some other skills. So ob 4, and you're just doing it against yourself for 1 test.
Okay.
You know, it just counts as the skill for ob stuff. So I don't think there's any additional stuff. So yeah, ob 4.
I fork in the spatial discipline to give me more time to think.
No, you could give.
That would be the.
Yeah, that's the one you're using already. I fork in the skill.
I fork in the fork.
Make a linked roll to make your help roll.
That was bad.
For my roll.
0 successes.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So difficult test though, at least.
Isn't there like a tax of some sort?
Oh yes, that's true. Alfons.
Do I roll?
Let's take a look at your discipline? Power source stuff. So yours is either unintended effect. or enmity and infamy.
I mean, unintended effect is always fun.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what it could be, because you were trying to see Dellon's future, like you basically you were trying to figure out, is it a good idea for me to
accidentally see him in bed with his wife.
No. This would be right. What you're trying to do is what you were attempting to do is, if I leave the room right now, is that a good idea? That was the way what you were trying to do. So I think like I'm trying to think of unintended. I'm trying to think of the unintended, like how could that be twisted? Or obviously it could just be like, oh, it's
maybe he should have stayed and he doesn't.
Well, obviously that's what happens no matter what.
Right. Yeah.
That was, but like I'm trying to think of how to make it more dramatic than that, if that's the case, right? If it's like he's warned of something really bad and he has to run off, but I don't know what that would be.
Could I see somebody else's future?
Oh, you know what I think it is? Alfons, you get like this danger sense twinge thing, right? And you're like, someone's in danger, and I assume you'd like just go off to like follow your vision and be like, oh yeah, I need to check this out.
Well, I mean, it would depend where and who. You
just get like a sense. It's not even like a vision of a person. It's just like you hear a scream, a woman scream, and then and then there's like a hallway in the manor that you like see in your vision, and you need to go there to help someone.
Is that where the prince is? Or not the prince. The true son?
I mean, do you follow it?
Yeah. Sure.
I think the implication would be that you do, like, given the failure, right?
Yeah. Alfons would go on here. There's a woman.
So I think what happens is you were trying to obviously find where Furio is, but you end up being cornered by Damiana, it
wasn't those kind of screams.
Yeah, for sure.
The servant girl, exactly. The servant girl turned courtier instead. So yeah, we'll come back over to Dellon though. So you failed your persuasion roll by a lot.
I mean, her name is Damiana. We know what she's into, so.
Oh boy! It was a mistake having this session with just you two.
Oh yeah. Also, definitely still can't. I told you I couldn't flip coins.
Yeah. You had 3 coins to flip too. So.
Yeah, I know. And last time I had even coins. More, 4. Yeah.
Okay, so for you, Dellon, this is basically him managing to gracefully decline in a way that you can't like question, right?
Yeah.
He says, no, it wouldn't be my place, especially with with me just being a guest here. I don't want to usurp the high priest's authority. So he says, here, I have I have a bishop here that I invited that he can do that. Yeah, and I think he did. He brought
is it you know who?
It's Nico Ard. It's the one that the son of the guy Dellon killed. So not the one who's demon possessed, but the one who doesn't like Dellon and gave
this is
the
even more awkward.
Yeah, can I fight this guy too?
Well, this guy doesn't have any fighting skills, but sure you can.
Yeah,
but yeah, so basically this is bad for you because not only does he have a good excuse for why he shouldn't do it, because hey, there's a bishop here, we can just
kind
have
of
him do it.
insulted this bishop guy also.
But yes, but then this guy doesn't like you, so
yeah. Oh yeah, right. I see.
And honestly, he might have faith, and I might just have him like try to give. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have him have the faith attribute.
Oh, I guess I ought to do that too, huh?
Yeah, but he's going to roll to try to like open end Furio stuff, right?
Okay.
So.
I mean, I guess I should also do that.
Yeah, if you would like to pray beforehand and prepare yourself, go for it.
I don't know. I don't remember what the odds are or anything.
I really wish I was in that room now. I'd so make a comment about his dad.
Yeah.
I hope your father's in good health.
Nice. Well done.
Oh. So let's see, Dellon, you have believer, correct?
I think so.
So I assume you want to open end your stuff.
Can I add dice instead? Because I can open.
You can do both if you want to.
I'd rather. Well, what's adding dice? What's the ob?
So if you just give yourself +1 die, it's ob 2 for you. If you want to give yourself a possibility of getting more than that, it's an ob 3, and then any successes you get over that is additional dice, up to 3 dice.
Now, is that adjusting already for Believer?
Yes. Yeah, okay. I already adjusted those ops for Believer.
And it is open-ended, but I get nothing if I go for 3 and don't get it,
right? Exactly, yeah.
Do it, coward.
Or wait, if I get 3, do I get the 1? And then
if I get 1.
More than that? Okay, I get sure, why
not? What difficulty do you need for faith to upgrade it?
I have 5, so this will be routine probably.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe difficult. I don't know. Oops, that's not.
I think it's routine. I think 3 against 5 is routine. We'll see though.
What?
That's routine.
How?
Wow.
How?
Man, failure.
It's like Connor's still here.
At this rate, I'm gonna fail my sword roll. What's happening?
Yeah, there's so much red, all from David.
It's literally. Well, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that was 7. 7 fails in a row.
Amazing.
I mean, some of them are Artha. That's nuts.
Wild. Yeah. So I mean, I don't think like he strikes you down or anything, but you certainly don't get any more dice.
Right. Yeah. He's like, I've given you enough juice already. Just do the thing.
Cool. Sounds good. So let's Alfons.
Was he gonna make his faith roll?
I might as well just do it now. Yeah. I'll do it.
Whatever. Yeah. He's just like openly like, I pray that this guy kills this other guy.
Well,
thanks.
so Furio isn't here yet. So I think I'll wait for when the duel's actually starting.
Does he have to be here? I mean, it's faith, right? You're just
right. But I mean,
God to do it.
This in terms of the ceremony of this, right? This is Nico.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Saying it before the duel actually begins, right? And blessing the combatants. So it would make sense for it to happen now. All right. So Alfons,
sure.
Did you send something?
He's posted that it's like you hear Connor thing in the chat.
That's so many zeros.
It's awful. Yeah. 3 zeros in a row. This one with 4 dice. This one with 3 dice, and this one with 5 dice.
Yep. So Alfons, you go looking for Furio, and instead you find Damiana Sant. So you find yourself at like a dead end, not because the hallway goes nowhere, but because the hallway has like a locked door that you can't get into or whatever. And you turn around and Damiana is there, and she has this like a sultry look on her face, and she just says, "Alfons Tan, I didn't think I'd see you again."
Yeah, me either. What a coincidence.
And she says, "I don't believe in coincidences. I think I believe in fate, in destiny." And she's like slowly walking towards you as she says this.
This is Burning Wheel. This isn't fate.
There are fate in Burning Wheel, though.
Oh no! I teleport away.
Do you?
No.
Okay. So she is continuing to come closer, and she says, "I seem to remember a conversation, a promise that was given the last time we met. I'm here to
collect.
I'm here to collect, Alfons."
Well, okay. Yeah. I don't know if that would be appropriate for me. It seemed like you already came with somebody.
Oh, Nico? He's a no one.
What do I know about Nico?
You can make a roll to know about Nico. The only thing you know is that this is the son of the guy Dellon killed.
You know that she's a pirate and she can grow hands out of herself.
Wait. Wasn't the guy Dellon killed our sister's husband?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, so this is her.
He had a previous wife.
All right, well, I'm gonna fork in court gossip wise and
so in theory, this is technically Ipana's stepson.
Right. Yeah. Awkward. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, dang it! You made me want to do this so much more.
Do what?
Her.
This she's not an object, Jared.
Okay.
I think he meant
I meant the action.
But that's not what he said.
What's the ob?
To do what? What are you doing?
I thought she's coming on to you if you say yes.
No, I'm knowing what I know about Nico.
It would just probably be a graduated court gossip wise, right?
Okay, well, noble wise, but
or noble wise, yeah, that works too.
Or well, it doesn't matter because they're both 5, and I'm forking either.
And you're forking in one of them, yeah. 3. If you roll those 6s again, slash a failed dice. Okay, yeah. 4 is pretty good.
I'm gonna spend another fate just because.
Oh, you're spending the one on the failed dice, yeah.
Yeah. Do I get to reroll that 6 again?
Yep.
Cool. Okay,
so 5 altogether. That's good.
4. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, you know that not only is we already know about him, right? But he is looking for like a wife. So maybe Damiana is trying to maybe her initial plan was to like become a noble lady by marrying this dude or something, right? You're not entirely sure. But you also know that this guy has been talking with the king a lot since he came to town. So it's possible that the king is trying to sway him towards his side of this whole affair. Because technically, right, the way a lot of this works, there are like city-born priests and theologians and things, but most, if not all of the bishops are nobles, right? And a lot of the like high-level clergy are nobles by blood. And so there is this like give and take between people who are high up in the church are technically also high up in nobility and could go either way with this whole conflict. So what you know about Nico is he's likely thinking about joining the king's side in the conflict. And that's probably why he's here. What else would you like to know about him if you want to ask a couple questions?
Oh, David, what are some questions I should ask about him? Is he well respected?
Not really. He's it's kind of one of those things where like technically the positions of bishops are chosen by just like the high priest are chosen by lot, right? There's like a kind of weird like an Israel like drawing lots sort of thing, like who does God pick to be in this authority? But most of the time for these sorts of things, it's rigged. Because at least the pool of options that are chosen and the way they set up the test, it's like almost a given that that like the son of the bishop or like these families have been in charge of these bishopries for a while now. And so like he's not really necessarily good at his job. He's just a nepotism pick because of his father.
That was going to be my question. Is he good at anything? Is he good at anything?
He's not good at things.
What is he good at?
Because he's a bishop, right? He has the life path or whatever. Or at least he doesn't have the life path because he would have gotten the bishop maybe after. Actually, how long does the bishop life path last? Because he certainly wouldn't have a full bishop life path because he's only been a bishop for like 3 years.
Is he better? I guess the question is he better at something else? Does he have a skill set besides church stuff that he's actually competent in?
Let me real quick add some life paths into chart here and see if I can come up with something.
This has just completely changed what I was going to do. 100 exact 180. Oh, this is beautiful.
So I think I think it's more interesting if this guy was originally just a noble, right? Like he wasn't into the church stuff and got this position based on nepotism, not even because of already being part of the church hierarchy.
Right.
So let me add a couple of these things. I think he has maybe 1 or 2 life paths that are, because I think he has, I think I just said he has faith, so I think he has maybe something. Let me check here. Oh, I think he was a holy advocate. I think that's what it is. Let's see if I can find the right thing to get faith. Because I still want to screw you over by giving him faith and having him roll against you, but
Is he prone to the same proclivities as his dad?
Well, he's not married, so there's at least not that.
I mean,
okay,
if
so
Damiana's got bruises all over her, then I guess we'll know.
I don't think she does. I think that
He's probably the one who wears the pants of the family.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like Nico is a very kind of effeminate figure. Mm-hmm. Probably what it was is he took after his mom, his original mom, right? Always was terrified of his dad, kind of was constantly overshadowed by him, and ended up becoming just he kind of rejected normal masculine trends and isn't a very confident person, all that stuff, right? But I think he was like a holy advocate, so more of like a bookish lawyer type, but yeah, lawyer. So he's like slimy in that sense, at least, right? So not so much the physical violence, but he would be this sort of person to emotionally abuse a wife.
Yeah,
probably, right?
Does his family have like do they have like as much sway as like the Trues or?
His father probably did, but since he took over, the family is not in a
they don't
good shape.
Have like troops or wealth or
it would anything probably just notable? Be whatever. He has property, so he has like a manor. Let's see, he has
basically what I'm getting at. Is there anything that I could use?
In what sense?
Well, if I were to get his wife on my side, so to speak.
Get
her on her side. So funny.
So basically, you're saying like Damiana isn't his wife. She's just trying to weasel her way into that position right now. But yeah, like there's definitely a chance if you got Damiana in on this plan and had her still pursue Nico, but like secretly be with you. That's definitely a thing you could try. Yeah, and like the main thing here is like the political clout that it would give, political and religious clout that it would give Valerio to have Nico on his side as opposed to on Sergio's side, right? Because he's still a bishop. So.
Oh, hey, and then I basically want to do the same. And then he can be defamed, and no one will care about the fact that you did that because you're known for it. So you're fine. Yeah, great. Dellon's all for this plan.
I don't know if it's better to try and like convince her to be like to get her to convince her husband to be on our, or I mean, basically force her husband to be on our side.
You might be able to blackmail him, yeah.
I think it would be better
to have a fool to be on the king's side.
I think it'd be better if he was on the king's side, and then she could just manipulate him to do whatever you want. Yeah,
or that, yeah.
Scandal, yeah.
And then also,
you can always use the scandal in your back pocket, right? Exactly, yeah.
We have a get out of jail free card, and then
once that baby comes out looking like me, whew. It'll be my third child in this campaign.
Yeah. So you want to take that angle?
Yeah, like at first, Alfons was like kind of flustered and like looking for a way out. And he's like, "Wait, she was with Nico," and then he just flips the script and like pushes it, like does the thing where he like slams his hand against the wall and like
yeah.
Turn into an anime character.
Yeah, I think I
get a fedora and like some sunglasses. I don't know.
There was a door at the end of the hallway that was locked, but I think there's doors on the sides of this hallway. They're like guest rooms that you could definitely open and literally just go to town if you'd like.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Nice. So, but I think it would be a seduction, I think, to do what you want to do, right? To have it be the way you want it to be.
Yeah. I mean, I have 7 great seduction. Let's go.
Yeah. What's your intent here exactly, right? Like, how do you want to frame this? Like,
so I don't exactly want to role play this part with you, so I'm just going to say what my goal is.
Yes, please do. Please.
Essentially, that like I'm convincing her to, because she's obviously trying to like weasel her way up the ladder.
Yes,
the social ladder.
Yeah, exactly. She looked at you and was like, "You're more important than Nico and cooler. I'm going to go after you now." Right?
Yeah. Basically, that she'll be like my side chick, but I still want her to go after like Nico and be our eyes and ears in the court and to like.
So basically the seduction
be our agent on the inside.
Is just for the whole thing, right? It's like by the end of this whole sequence, she'll be on your side and do what you wanted to do. Okay, yep, sounds good. I think it's going to be an Ob 6 altogether.
Okay.
Her will is 4, but I think this would be something she doesn't want, right? She would rather just be like actually on your side and yeah.
All right, so I will...
You just have to convince her that if she does that for you, eventually you'll drop the bomb on what's-his-nose, Nico, and then she can be with you.
Yeah, the thing is, she doesn't like Nico.
She'll be the head of the household.
You're right.
Eventually, we're going to get rid of Nico, and you'll be the lady of the man.
Yeah. And this is just how she has to do what she has to do.
If you convince her of this, that's how she'll feel. Otherwise, she'll be like, he's weird and not masculine, and I don't like him, and I don't want to even touch him. Like, he's creepy.
All right, so seduction, persuasion, obviously. So that's 2 for persuasion. Court gossip wise and noble wise, because all the stuff about her husband being, weird, and I'll throw in some stuff about his dad being horrible. And I mean, falsehood and bullcrap, because I don't actually like.
You don't want to spend the rest of your life with this woman, yeah, of course.
I don't think I'm gonna actually like throw in the hey, once he's gone, we'll like be married type thing. But
maybe just let her draw a conclusion.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one.
And it's not even that she wants marriage per se. It's just that like she has ambition and so she wants to be taken care of the rest of her life, right? She wants to have influence and power and wealth. She doesn't really care how she gets it. So.
What?
Oh no.
Well,
no,
I'm sixes. Like 4 call-ons.
I'm just gonna use my call-on to reroll all the failed dice.
Okay.
Oh wait, do you have a call-on for seduction, or did you pick something different for it?
You don't. I don't think he does. Let me check. You only have charismatic.
Do you have one that's for both?
Yeah, charismatic is for...
we were talking about one that was for both.
Okay.
But you didn't get it. Yep.
Okay.
That is absolute nonsense.
Yeah, mainly because it was like Alfons could have gotten any of these, but like, what's the most important one to him? It's persuasion.
Okay.
Gosh darn it. Okay.
So you can spend 1 fate to reroll 1 failed dice.
Oh no!
But that's all you got.
Gosh darn it! I might have tried to min-max this more if I had known I needed to. Crap.
That's not good.
Wait, why is the obstacle 8? I thought it was
6 actually. Yeah.
Oh, I pass.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking of the last one I rolled.
Yep.
Oops.
Yeah, good catch there, David.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, you got it. Actually, it's 6.
Oh, okay.
Right on the money. It's still routine, I think, though. But
obviously.
Yeah.
This is the worst I've ever rolled.
That was pretty bad.
That was actually pretty bad. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I mean, I think like you even like probably have like a moment of pillow talk or whatever right after the fact, and like bring her in on this plan. Probably what we see, right, is we see the like beginnings of your making out and the like opening the door while you're still making out and pushing in the room while you're still making out, and then we cut from there, go back to whatever Dellon's doing for a while, and when we cut back to you guys, like you're like putting on your clothes again, right, and she's like doing the class thing. She's like holding the blanket to her chest, and
being
you're talking
modest for some reason in front of the person that she just slept with.
Yeah, exactly. But for the camera, right?
Yeah. Right.
And you're talking about the plans, right? And so what's the last snippet of that conversation, Alfons? As you're filling her in on what's happening here.
Well, if everything goes to plan, you'll inherit his entire estate and everything he owns. So,
I mean, will she? I don't know if that's
doesn't
true.
He have children?
He had not married.
Nico's not married yet. Remember?
Oh well, then
once Nico gets married, all the stuff goes to the wife.
We'd have to make a rule of law test there because Ipina would have gotten it then, right? Well, I guess he had a son.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't think Epina got anything. I think you'd either have to make a rule of law test to make that law true, or the better way to do this is have a child, right? Is have Damiana have a child, quote unquote, by Nico, and thus that's who it's actually going to. But
I already took care of that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you happened to hit the right time. It's fine. This is a fantasy medieval thing. Everyone automatically gets pregnant the first time.
I roll essential to make myself extra virile.
Oh gosh.
I think if you do actually want to like have a child, that would be a roll of some sort. Or we just roll the die of fate every time you have sex. It's probably a
luck-based thing because it's
I think for this time, let's just roll a die of fate, okay? If you got to get a 1, then you just got her pregnant. Okay, no.
Wait, I'm gonna roll essential to get advantage on that.
I mean, you can't make her be ovulating,
but I could make myself. You could do it with
the physical discipline. You could do it with the physical discipline. Technically, it could be
awful.
Like some of it matters about. Well,
yeah, I mean, so but if it doesn't matter unless this roll was successful because this is a timing question.
I mean, that wasn't necessarily a roll to is she ovulating? It was just like, does a child actually?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
I mean,
I guess I can roll essential to get advantage.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know if I want to talk about that right now.
If you don't let me do it, I am going to come up with a name for that ability. That's your punishment.
Oh boy! At the very least,
come up with a name for that power.
For that spell, yeah.
It's called the Alfons Special. There you go.
It's called the Secret Sauce.
Yeah, no, so much worse. All right.
I think, Jared, if you want that to happen in the future, you'll have to make some sort of roll, and we'll have to figure that out. At the very least, every time you have some sort of actually important moment where you're sleeping with her, we could roll a die of fate. But it's not necessarily. It's not like we're just gonna hey, we just skipped through a week of time. Let's make 7 rolls to see. Yeah. That's not what it's going to be. But
I wish I had the die of fate the first time this happened.
Yeah, at the very least, periodically we can make die of fate tests to see if it happens.
Okay.
Cool though. Yeah. So I think she says, "See, Alfons, I told you, I told you, fate was guiding our meeting." And I think she says then, she frowns a little bit and she says, as distasteful as sleeping with Nico again is going to be, I suppose I could keep, what's a term for not beating a dead horse, or like the continuing to do something.
Yeah. Biting the bullet.
Yeah.
There are no bullets in this world.
Yeah, there are no bullets. And that idiom makes 0 sense in this setting at all.
I mean, she could just be like,
it's not even beating a dead horse. It's just like doing something distasteful. Whatever idiom would be there. I can't think of anything, but I suppose
taking one for the team.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Exactly. I suppose I'll keep taking one. I'll continue to take one for the team. And
yeah, it was more appropriate than I meant it to be, or I guess inappropriate.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of how she ends that sentence. As long as we can continue this, I think
as long as you make up for it, right?
Yeah, I think I can stomach it.
She didn't put herself there on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's just an innocent damsel in distress who's being caught into a web of intrigue.
Of course, yeah.
Well, yeah, sounds like a plan.
So Alfons, when you leave the room, make an inconspicuous test. Because there was someone who was coming to find you and talk to you, that could accidentally stumble upon this situation.
I just want to teleport out of the room.
Sure, you can
to
make
be extra cool.
Let me look real quick at spatial.
It's just leaving flower petals behind.
It's literally what it does.
I know.
I need a specific move name for teleporting out of women's room.
There you go. The Expeditious Retreat. Is that the name of the spell?
So Alfons, I think you can just do it. I don't think there's a roll here.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna send you an alternative.
You can.
Or well, can I just roll inconspicuous, fork, and stealthy, and then use continuous or not
to give you
spatial as like an advantage dice, maybe?
Sure. Yep.
Unless you're just willing to, because I mean, it makes noise. So
that's true.
I guess that's the stealth part.
I agree. So we could just have you make a stealthy roll using practical magic for spatial discipline. So basically, it would be the obs are based on you doing stealthy instead of you doing spatial. Does that make sense?
Or wouldn't it just be inconspicuous?
You could do it the way you described. You could give yourself advantage dice if you'd like, but you could also just roll stealthy. Okay, that's fine.
I have gray inconspicuous.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, so this means that you're rolling the advantage for Ob 2. I don't think there's any increase. Unless you would like to try for more dice than 1.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I need the routine.
Go for
rolls.
Yowza. What is happening?
I'll reroll
Fate to coin flip.
6, yeah. Okay.
So there you go. That would have been awkward if you'd have failed that somehow.
I know, yeah. It wouldn't be that he failed to do it. It just would have been way more noisy than he wanted.
I would have teleported into another woman's room.
You teleport into the middle of the duel butt naked.
Here we go again.
All your clothes are left fine. Yeah.
All right. So.
Yep. So additional dice there.
Inconspicuous roll. The ob for that.
I will roll this person's first.
Yeah.
I don't think
they're gonna notice you teleport. What's happening?
Well, to know who they're rolling to see if they can figure out who was in the room.
Oh, they already know someone's in the room. They're trying to figure out who.
Yeah, because they were following Alfons. They were trying to find him. So it's possible they figure this out from context clues.
Well, I was going to say, even if he's not in there, they'll probably figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, he went into a room with a woman, was in there for a while, and then wasn't in there when they
and the success on the roll here means that this person did see it well enough to put that together. Okay. Otherwise, maybe they lost Alfons at some point.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Just have suspicions.
Yeah.
If anything. So this person doesn't have observation, so
awesome.
all being learned for them. So you should be fine either way, but we'll see. Ooh, they got 4 successes though. So that's going to be your successes will double, right? So whatever successes you get will be doubled of that. So you just need to get 2.
How many persona do I have?
How does that work? How does tying work? Who wins the tie?
Defender wins the tie, which would be Alfons in this case because he's the one being. Yes, he's
always.
This person is the one who was instigating the action because they were following Alfons, so I think they're the attacker in this case. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. It's a good thing we had that conversation.
So I pass.
Yes. So I think what we see is Alfons, you disappear and the flower petals rain down, and Aza just we see her, she's still holding like the comforter to her chest, but she just like lies backward, like very, very happy with the way that all went down. But then, or sorry, did I say Aza? I meant the other redhead.
That's who was obviously
Damiana.
Following me.
That is who was obviously following you. Yes.
Okay.
Now we just need to. Great. Now we have another cut to black scene. Okay, let's go.
No. So what happens is, right, Damiana does that, lays back down, very happy with the situation that just happened. And then we hear a knock at the door, and Damiana's like, whoops. And I don't know exactly how this goes down. I think we just cut away from the scene from there, but we know it's Aza on the other side.
Look, Geralt might not have the social skills to pull off the you get both women at the end of the game ending, but Alfons does.
But Alfons is, yep. So Aza, we just hear her voice on the other side, right? Hello, is anyone in there? And then we just cut away from the scene, and Damiana is caught in a very awkward situation. Yep.
Now it's Dellon's turn to impale somebody. Let's do it.
But
now I've been holding on to that for like 10 minutes. Let's do
it. But yeah, we can do that now. So Nico,
I just saw your message.
Yeah, pretty good, huh? Yeah. I sent him an alternate name for that spell where he teleports out of a woman's bedroom, but I didn't think it was appropriate enough to say. Which is saying something, considering what I just made, the joke I just made. Anyways,
yeah, I think this was worse.
Yeah, I agree.
So this is going to be Nico's ceremony roll, right? He's just going to try to open end Furio's dice. He only has 3 dice in faith, so this is something he needs to get 2 successes.
There you
go. Got it.
Okay.
Only because of that extra 6, that 6 he got in the extra success he got.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Yes. So Furio's dice will be open ended. So what happens, right? We cut back over to Dellon, and Furio comes out of wherever he was. And Dellon, I want you to make a roll here.
Yeah, I love a fail to
notice something.
Okay.
Alfons isn't here, so he can't notice this for you.
What is the nature of the thing I am noticing?
I think it's an empathy, right? You're trying to notice his demeanor, right? And why he might have such a demeanor.
Yeah, I have observation. I don't have
exactly. So this is gonna be a fail probably on your part, but you're the only person who could notice it. So I thought I'd at least give you the chance, right?
Someone cast magic on him too, right? 1, 2.
Something like that.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what you're actually rolling, or like what the ob is here.
It's not gonna matter, buddy. I'll just put an ob 2 and fail. There you go.
Oh well, hey. At the very least, you'll get you won't get all the information, but you'll get some information if you get that extra success that you need.
Oh, I mean, I put the ob as 2. I assumed it would be higher.
Ob 2. I think it was.
Really? Okay.
To get you some, like there would have been multiple options, right?
Okay.
So if you tried for the mood,
sure.
I think there's at least something you can learn.
All right. Ring up 1, dice 1.
Hey,
that's
finally a lot.
Okay,
even a broken clock is right twice a day. Here we go.
When you left Furio before, right? He was very nervous and did not seem to want to have this fight.
Sorry to interrupt. Was that supposed to be an empathy, will-based thing or a perception-based thing?
Either one.
Okay, because I would have had 2 more dice if it was will.
Well, I guess you just made a test on perception then for that. You still got it, right? So it doesn't matter. Unless you would rather have not spent the fate.
Right. I also would get a test on will. So those are the 2 reasons.
Is that what you wanted to do? Yeah.
Or no, I would get.
I don't think you would have. It would have been a routine again.
You're right. You're right. Okay, I'd rather get it on. Whatever. It's fine. We already did. Never mind.
Either way, it's a routine.
In the future,
on perception or will. So no matter what, you're getting the bubble. So I don't think it matters.
Yeah. But
the only difference would be if you didn't want to spend that fate.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just leave it.
Okay. So yeah, when you left Furio yesterday, right? He was very nervous, did not want to have this duel. But he definitely seems more confident.
Yeah, something.
But there still is like a weird tension about him, but it's different than it was before. And you're not sure. Like that's all you can glean from your Ob 2 empathy test. But something has changed, and you're not sure what.
Yeah, I've got a pretty good guess. We'll see how it goes.
And I think so. Yeah. So Nico comes up to do the prayer. It obviously seems a little bit too one-sided, right? He's trying to bless Furio more than you. Which you could call him on
this
if you want
cool,
to,
and also please open end this guy's dice. Thanks.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's whatever.
Yeah, I figured. And I guess we just add up some dice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do some.
You get to look up the bloody versus rolls.
So I will warn you in advance. I did build this guy explicitly to try to defeat you. He is kind of like your All Might and this guy's Endeavor. He has spent his entire life trying to be better than you.
Right. Yeah. Does he have gray? Is that?
He does not have gray. That's the one downside he has. He'll probably have around the same amount of dice as you, but he does not have gray dice.
All right. We'll see how this goes.
All right. Let's see.
I think I need a notepad. Because it is always difficult for me to remember which dice are going where.
Let's read these off as we're adding them. So he's going to do brawling.
What?
Intimidation. We've usually had intimidation be something you can use in something like
this.
Really?
Oh, I've never used it. I'm going to do that now. Cool.
Yeah, I was going to give it to you too. Yeah, because the idea is like you can do that in combat and
that makes
hesitate
sense.
And stuff, right?
I just never thought about it. Okay.
So knives. No, I guess you're just doing sword, right?
Yeah, I assume so. He has a long sword, right? I don't think it'd be awkward to use a knife.
Yeah, and knives are very different from swords, so it's not even like his knowledge would help him per se.
Right.
Knight wise, Dellon wise, duel wise, and that's it for forks, I think, for him.
Okay. I've got brawling. I've got single combat wise. If there's magic going on, I'll use 9 disciplines wise. If there's not, I won't.
There's not magic going on.
Okay. Other than my magic, does my magic count? I have magic.
Sure. Yeah, no, that makes sense. It really? Yeah, because you are using it in this whole bloody versus thing, technically.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. Right. Armored wise.
Yep.
He's intimidation.
Armored. Yep.
So I've got 5.
He's spending all of persona he can in this. And here's your roll that you're up against. You only got an 8.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay, so this Blade versus you split the pool in offense and defense, and there's like reflexes and armor.
Yeah,
and all that.
Sorry.
So I think we got a ways more to go yet.
Totally forgot about
that. But I mean, he can keep that though, that roll.
Well, he needs to split it up.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
So he'll roll. So this is actually his roll. It'll be. Oh, I forgot to open end it too. So just disregard that entirely.
Yeah, well, so I mean, let's talk because there's he gets free dice for armor, and
right.
There's also a competition with reflexes and speed.
I was
and all
just
this stuff.
Gearing up to do the roll.
You're fine. I just
right, let's
he might get some more dice and I mean, he will get some for his armor. But
bloody versus. Okay, so you both have the exact same weapon.
Yeah.
So nothing there. You both have mail. What is it? What do you have?
I think we both have plate, don't we?
Let me check.
Armor?
He has.
Yeah, I've plated mail.
He has plated mail.
It's 3 dice.
You have plated mail. I was looking at your character sheet.
Yeah.
You have plated mail, and I'm just going to.
I guess it's just plate mail.
Yeah. You both have plated mail.
I think it says 3D bloody next to it, so I think it's 5D normally 3D, and you get 3D as a bonus in bloody versus.
Is it it says plated chain is +3 dice, full plate is +4 dice. Do you guys have full plate?
I think so. I mean, I'm pretty sure I got mine off of like a fully plated knight, like in the first season. So, but I don't know. I assume that I have the heaviest armor I can find because that was my intention.
Yeah, we'll just assume that he does as well then.
Yeah, I figured.
So additional 4 dice, so 21 dice for him that he's rolling.
So I actually thought it was 5 for some reason, but I think the 4 is what you roll if you're injured. I made a note that in bloody versus it's different.
It says right. I'm looking at it right now. It says advantages to bloody versus defend +4 dice.
Oh,
full plate.
Well, my note is wrong then. I got to fix my note. Okay.
I guess that's
maybe
just
I
defend,
didn't have the. I'm confused. All right. Yeah, you can only attribute those to the defense. Yeah.
I don't think. Do you have a higher reflexes than him? What's your reflex?
I might. I have a 5.
Oh yeah, probably. No, he has a 5 too.
Yeah. 5. Oh, he does. Okay.
Yeah, both have 5.
And we have the same stride and stuff.
Same stride, and then just forks from there. Okay, cool. So his final dice is 21 dice.
Okay.
21.
Mm-hmm. He has a 9 in sword.
David's old sword teleports to him.
Unfortunately, I don't think having a better.
I don't think superior quality actually helps.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you sure? I think it gives +1 dice. I always roll +1 when
I have 20 dice and mine are gray, and I have a call on.
Oh yeah.
So I'll probably be all right.
All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do these for him.
What was his pool? Sorry, 21 or 22?
He only got
21.
All right, I'm gonna spend. Oh wait, no, this is a sword roll. What am I doing? I'm gonna spend both of my persona. I forgot I have to spend stuff. I've been holding on to that to spend. I'm like, I gotta wait for a sword roll. And now I have one. I'm not spending. All right.
David, are you saying that you have 0 persona right now?
No.
Oh.
I guess I forgot about that. I did say that I had 0 persona, but I'm not going to do that.
Okay, I was wondering. That'd be a major risk here.
Yeah.
If he gets a lucky hit somehow and you just die.
Yeah.
That would be a way to open the season.
I mean, this isn't a duel to the death anyways, but
right, but like you could get one hit, and if you have a high enough power.
I suppose. Well, yeah, I guess it depends on whether or not you roll armor for injury.
You don't. It's just for fight.
It's just for, okay.
Yep.
Stinky.
Exactly.
Sorry, I'm just counting.
It's entirely possible both of them kill each other in this fight if the dice get crazy enough.
Oh, and I'm not there to heal.
Oh, I assume you're back.
Oh,
the duel was. There was still some time before the duel. I think you can get back right when the duel starting.
Yeah, Caleb, I'm gone for at least 3 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Roll 1d6. That's how long it takes. I think we'll go with
I think Alfons knew that he didn't have that much time.
Wait, on a die of fate, 1 is good.
1 is good, yeah.
Yeah. So it takes 6 hours, right? That's all right. So
Jared.
No, I can't keep my notepad up. Okay. So sorry, did he do his rolls already?
No, I'll do them right now.
Okay, go for it.
So this is his defense.
Okay. Oh gosh,
that was so bad.
That was terrible.
And this will be his attack. There you go. That's better.
Oh my goodness! Wow, he committed a lot more to attack than defense.
No, he committed 1 more die to attack than defense.
Oh wait. Oh, they're open ended. He just has a lot more results, so that's why I was like, how? Okay. All right. So here's my attack.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't buff this guy.
Yeah, me too. So I hit him.
Yep. A lot.
That's gonna be a
now
max
the question
injury,
is, does he hit you a lot?
So so I will obviously wait. Okay, help me out here. Call on first or fate first? Call on first or fate first?
It doesn't matter. We just need to keep track of which dice were originally what. That's the only thing that matters.
So you can't
or not originally.
You can't open end the
thing that would matter exactly.
Right.
Well, no.
Reroll dice once, basically.
Let me. Sorry. Let me say this again. When you're re-rolling with the trait, those dice do become the number they land on. When you're doing it with fate, they continue to remain 6s. So if you did fate first and one of the dice ended up being a 2 at the end, that new dice can't be rerolled. That's the thing that matters.
Okay. Well, I'm going to spend fate first because that was like the whole point. I need to spend so much fate on sword.
Okay. Spend 2 and get 3 dice altogether on that attack.
Well, he could.
I'm doing it on defense.
Right? You could do 2 on the first 2 and then 2 on the second 2.
Or sorry, defense, that's what I mean.
If I spend fate, I reroll everything, right? Is it 1 roll? All right, I mean all of the 6s on the whole roll.
Yes.
If it's 1 roll.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's my rerolls for attack. Not that it matters. 1 more. Here's my rerolls for defense, which matter much more. That's not how you write a thing. Okay. So
still has 1 over you, but
8 attack, 7 defense. So now, but I'm spent 2 fate, so I'm going to reroll 1 of the coin flips on defense because my intention was to do that the whole time. Anyways, that's the only one I needed to worry about. Wait, why did I do that? That's not what I meant to do.
No, didn't you? You already did that, David. There's only 2 6s on defense. You already roll it right.
Yeah, he's rerolling one of the traitors.
Oh,
no, that's what I'm saying. Because you did 3d6.
Oh, I did
on
do
the
3D6.
Defense. It already counted. That
you're right. I actually didn't mean to do that. That's why I was confused. But okay,
but it already counted. Yeah.
Ignore that one. All right. So now I'll reroll.
So right now you're at 8 attack and 7 defense.
So now I'll use my call on because I still need to.
Yep. So just do these separately as well.
I can still get 2 successes on my attack, right?
Yes.
Because I have 2 failed dice. So those are both. So I have all 9 successes on.
Yep.
Or wait, it'd be more than 9, right? Because I got one from my fate too.
Yeah, it's
10. So I got 10 successes. Okay.
Yep.
And then I can reroll on my defense. I'm
2, 3, 4, 5.
5. Okay, great. Sorry, this took a lot longer than I thought. I guess it's a good thing we didn't do this in fight after. I guess. Oh, there we go. All right.
Wait. You get to reroll those 6s now.
No.
Yeah, you didn't open-end it.
Wait, I do? I did open-end it earlier. With fate.
Yeah, I guess that is why it matters.
I take no damage. So.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
And I think it does matter to whatever we do it in, but it doesn't matter for this. So I've got 7 successes over him in offense, and enough that I don't take damage. I don't remember how many, but I don't take damage in defense, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, one thing he can do, he can spend fate himself to reroll 1 failed dice.
Well, now I have to figure out how many dice I had. All right, so I had 6 successes, then 1 from fate, then so that's 7, and then I got 5 more.
The thing is, he can only do it on one of these, right? He has to choose which one because he's gonna reroll 1 failed dice. He's gonna do it on attack because he wants to attack you, right? More than anything else. What is your successes you got on defense then?
I'm at 12 now.
12
because
for defense?
I got all 5 of those were successes when I rerolled them.
That was for attack though, wasn't it?
No. The attack I got 2 more successes. I only had 2 failed dice on attack.
10. That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, attack is 10, defense is 12 now.
Okay.
So he would need to get
he's at
4
8
successes with this 1 dice.
It's happened before.
I was gonna say I think he's crazy enough that
there's no reason not to
try it. Yeah,
it's an NPC. It's not like he's going to spend it later.
Yep. He did get a success, but not enough.
Yeah. All right. So what does 7 degrees of success do to my attack?
It doesn't matter. It's just the highest one. Apply wound result as per the weapon rules. So
how many successes over do you need to get the highest? Is it just like 1 or 2?
It depends on the weapon.
Because it has an add, right?
Yeah, add. You should have this in your character sheet. I think we put your sword in there.
Yeah, my add is 2.
Oh wait, what kind of sword do you have in there?
The longsword.
Is it superior quality though?
I have 2 on here, but
you have 2 different ones. Okay, perfect.
It's only versus armor. It's different.
Perfect. Yeah. So that means you still have enough successes, I think, right, to get that. You need. So if
I don't know how it works.
If you get on the obstacle, then it's incidental. If you get 1 adds worth above,
2 over.
Then it's the next. So it needs to be 4 successes over all.
Yeah, and I got 7 over. So
perfect.
Yeah.
So what's the power of the weapon? Was it 3?
I think so. Let me double check. Power 3. Yes.
What's your actual power?
5. So
okay.
8.
So 8. What's 1.5 times 8?
12.
Yeah, you did a B12. You killed him. You just murdered the dude.
Did I not kill him?
I'll double check what his actual B. What's hilarious? He has his mortal wound is a B12. Anything below that isn't a mortal wound. Yes,
that's hilarious.
And you cannot choose not to do this. Like,
wait, what?
You're fighting. No, well, because the idea is you apply the wound as per the weapon results, and then after that you can do whatever you want with him. Right? You're in the middle of a combat.
But I can't choose to lesser wound him.
I don't think so. No.
I got to choose a lesser wound.
Heal him?
Alfons, by not wounding him.
I'll double check the section again.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you're right. I just feel like I don't want to kill him.
Oh, you definitely don't want to kill him, but I think that's what happens.
we didn't do bloody verses for Arthur.
No, we didn't. Yeah, because I mean, we weren't actually trying to hurt each other, so there was no point.
And the difference was how many? What was the difference? Was it like 2 or 3?
The injury to you would have been a lot lower. Yeah, it would have been an incidental, probably an incidental hit.
Yeah, no, it just says you apply the wound result. So,
right,
I think what it is though, right, is like Furio is going too hard on it.
I was gonna say if Dellon kills him, it's because
Furio is pushing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
that's definitely the case.
So And I mean, okay, I like to think this was supposed to be like to first blood, right?
To first blood, yep. It's so just that the first hit you get in just kills him, right?
Okay, well, we can do that. My thought was that maybe I do draw first blood and he just doesn't stop fighting.
Yeah.
Because then it's a little less like I suck and I accidentally killed him.
Yep. No, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Dellon, do you want to describe the first beginnings of this and then describe how you get the first blood, and then I'll describe how he pushes further?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I guess you tell me how easily do I score this hit, because that's how I got like a 7 out of 3, so pretty, yeah. Okay. So he just also did a lot of attacking. It was just a lot of work to not die. All right. So yeah, I guess we can roleplay the beginning of the fight. So like, I guess we kind of skipped that. So I sort of am doing my prayer thing to myself, and then it doesn't work, and then I notice him.
You look over at Nico, and he's like, "Oh, there's prayer interference."
Yeah, right. Like, hey, you cut that out. And then I just wait for him to come to the field. Does he say anything when he walks up? Because I remember
he's not saying anything. No,
confident.
Yeah, okay. He looks more confident, but he still has this tension about him, and he doesn't speak to you, even if you try to speak to him.
Okay, then so I think I draw my sword and I say, "May the best man win." And then when he doesn't say anything, I think I wait for him. I know that he's wanted this for a long time. It's going to be like overly aggressive, and so I think he probably maybe doesn't even wait for like the go or whatever, and then he just like lunges at me.
Yeah,
and I think I mean, we're both in like a lot, like very heavily armored.
Yep.
But so I think what happens is I just kind of shift a little bit enough that his blade like clinks off my shoulder pad, and mine goes into the same place on his, but under the shoulder pad. And like when I pull the, he winces, and when I pull the blade out, there's a little bit of blood on it, and then he just immediately keeps going. Yeah, and like it takes me off guard for a second.
There's a moment where he just like his eyes widen, and then he looks at you, grits his teeth, and he's
like, no way, not over yet, yeah. And then I think that's probably the reason I needed nimble and all that stuff, right? Because I'm reacting to him being what I wasn't expecting. And
so we just see him push forward, and he just like just like as hard hits as he can.
Defensively,
he's just going crazy, just literally like as hard of hits as he possibly can.
Yeah. And I think basically Dellon is it was nimble that made the difference there. So basically he's just narrowly dodging things and parrying, and he's not like being super aggressive here because he won. And so I think he's just thinking, he'll get his rage out and then it'll be over. But as it keeps going, like he's like, okay, I've lost the ability. Like, I think maybe he hits his helmet once, and Dellon like kind of shakes. He gets a little shaken. And he's like, okay, I can't just tire this guy out. Yeah. And then I think I think he would still probably go for non-lethal attacks first. So like, he goes and like, grabs the guy's arm, throws him, and like cuts his leg, and the guy turns around and keeps going anyways. And then eventually I think he has to work his way up to lethal. And maybe like, I think the guy like rushed him, goes to tackle him, because we did brawling too.
And there's definitely like cries coming from the audience at this point. Like Valerio specifically is like, Furio, stop. Yeah. And like Oberdon, like his father, is just like standing up like, oh no.
Yeah. And then
Alfons, what are you doing while you're watching this?
Can I tell that he's probably going to get himself killed?
I think so, but there's nothing you can do about it mechanically.
Can I try to ready a heal like right as he's like dying to heal him like one less?
You can't do that. Let's look at the essential discipline real quick. Because like you can use the essential discipline as if it's like surgery or whatever, right? So you could do that to like stabilize him, or not surgery, but apothecary. It would be an incredibly difficult role given the wound he received, but it's technically possible. At the very least, you could do field dressing to like stabilize him long enough to like get him somewhere. Other than that, like the actual like options you have to do with like the art magic stuff is like just like advantage, hinder, arcane action, but like it's still
you
like
do
you
arcane
just can't
action for surgery.
No, arcane action is like a simple physical test, so it's like a stat, not a skill.
Mm-hmm.
It's like pushing, thrusting, like knocking someone over.
Practical magic. He could use practical magic surgery.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think that's the only option you really have available to you is after
it's going to be
wound.
Real hard, right?
Exactly. Then you can try to stabilize him, but.
Can I teleport David's sword away as he's doing like the finishing blow?
You cannot mechanically affect the wound that's going to happen here.
Gotcha.
So it already happened. You can describe Alfons trying to do so, but it just doesn't work.
Yeah. I'll try to heal. What's the lowest I can roll, like the lowest ob, just to make sure he doesn't die right here and now.
So like just for field dressing, I think it would be the issue is it's a B12 wound, which I think really puts a damper on things. It might just matter that it's a mortal wound actually, but yeah. Sorry, let me find this. Range and cover, fight. There you go. Anatomy of injury. Field dressing. Here we go. Stop the bleeding. Okay, so you'd be... What's the easiest way to do this? Field dressing for a mortal... I'm just going to take a look at the actual skills you have for practical magic here and what would actually be the lowest ob. Because field dressing is 8. Apothecary with your increased ob for it would be 7. Bloodletting is 4.
Yeah.
Bloodletting?
I make sure all the blood comes out in a specific way. So as not
the last thing we want to do is let more blood here.
Well, I think the idea is just like if someone actually had this skill, it would be like they know how to staunch blood flow as well as start it, right? They just know blood in general.
I thought bloodletting was for like getting out poisons and stuff.
It is, yeah, but apparently it's just easier to stop. This is to pause the wound from getting worse so that someone can help him.
Gotcha. But can it get worse? Does getting worse?
You can just die. I think the idea would be like I think so. Normally, like a character would have to spend a persona to not die from a mortal wound.
I thought you did die.
I think this guy's spent all his persona, so I think this is the role to make it so possible for him to recover. Alfons could try to staunch the blood flow just long enough to like make him not die.
Sure.
So yes, you could roll an ob 4.
So real quick before or I guess you can roll if you want, but I just wanted to. So I think what happens is he's probably been yelling at him the whole time, like to give up, but he's lost and stuff. I think eventually Dellon gets upset enough that he maybe he gets like, I mean, I didn't take damage, but again, gets knocked around again, and then just says enough, and he like parries a shot and just like rams his sword up like in between the plates in his gut. So it's not like he cuts his throat, but I mean, especially in a medieval setting, being skewered through like that is going to kill you eventually. Yeah. And then
so you ram like point first or like a slash,
like thrust into it.
Okay,
up
thrust
into his armor, and then just like kicks him off.
Yeah.
And immediately he whips around to Furio and says, "Is this what we should expect from the King's Knights? Anger and death, failure?" And he says, "What was that? This is the best that you're." What do they call it?
I don't know if they have a name. Probably just like the King's Knights for now is fine.
Yeah. He says, "This is the best the King's Knight has to offer," and he like turns to everybody else and says, "This is why we can't start our war again." And I guess I'll try and make my roll here. I mean, we'll wait for Alfons to do his because he talked about.
Yeah, let's do Alfons first. Yeah. Alfons, go ahead and make your.
All right.
Now you can do it. Yeah.
I think would like either way, fork in spatial and continuous to this, and spatial because I just teleport from where I'm sitting to like him instantly. So
so you can't. Oh, you're doing magic, so you can fork magic into magic.
Fork magic into magic. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
And I the second
continuous obviously helps.
Yeah.
Use a spatial discipline to keep his blood in his body.
I keep teleporting the blood back into his body.
Yeah, I think as forks, those are fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it picks up some dirt and you shove it back in. And...
Yeah, I think either way, what's going to happen here, right? If Alfons succeeds in this roll, he'll live, but the failed or success on a mortal wound treatment roll, he lives no matter what at that point. It's just that he'll take forever to recover and will probably be majorly crippled when he actually recovers. If Alfons fails, then he just dies right here.
Okay. Yeah. So what was it? You said the odd was 4?
4, yep.
Okay. Well, I have 5, so if I just rolled essential, would that be difficult?
It'd be difficult, yeah. Yeah, if you don't care one way or the other and just want to get the test.
How much does the dad like the son? Can I roll an empathy check?
It's his eldest son.
It is his eldest son, and he is the heir, but he does have other sons. Mm-hmm. None of them are as important as this guy, but it was you could probably get away with it. Like it happened. Mm-hmm. No one's gonna blame Dellon for what happened. Yeah. Right? It's just that
what was the reaction to the dad?
I was gonna say he's shocked and disappointed, but like not surprised necessarily.
Right? He's not going.
At the end of the day, like he knew he was a hothead. He I mean he was turning against the king, so it's not like
this
isn't as bad as it could have been, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not like his favorite son who was with on everything.
I promised to induct one of his younger sons into the Holy Church anyways, like the Knight Order, my order. Mm-hmm. And so now his oldest son will also be on the side that he's on. And
I don't think it will be a failure in any sense, Alfons, if you actually don't heal him here.
So I teleport to him, like catch him before he falls. And like my hand starts glowing out. I look to Dellon questioning. Does he give me like the go ahead or like should we just let him?
Right now he's yelling at the king about how his best knight is a hot-headed idiot and that if we go to war, we're all going to die. So
I think it's up to Alfons.
Yeah. But I mean,
what does David as a player want?
I mean, you should heal him.
Okay. I will. Right, so I'll fork in both the magics. So that's 2 extra dice.
Yep.
And let's see, how many personas? I'll put in 1 person. Let's see if I have any skills that could go like this. Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, given that it's magic, probably the only thing that would matter would be if you had some other medical skill.
Sword-wise, there you go.
Because it's a sword that causes.
If you have sword, I think that accounts. Yeah,
you got that from Gale, awesome. I think.
Yeah, I did. Well, you know what? Screw that persona. I'm taking that persona there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, relevant wises can always be forked into magic rolls.
That's cool. That's a good call. Nice.
Wow.
This guy is
really
good as new.
No, but you stabilized him, right?
Can it be extra impressive?
Sure, yeah. I mean, there's certainly like a yellow gold glow, right? That's like enveloping him and pushing the blood back. I think what happens is he's like caught in a stasis field now of like this yellow glowing energy, and like you maybe look to someone as like, so we need a doctor here, like right now.
Oh, you know what? I actually get 1 more. Okay, so it's actually 10. It's a named Dellon. Ability. Wait, and I actually have this ability unlocked, so that's 2 dice, right?
Obviously, you're going to make your roll here, Dellon.
Right, yeah.
To do your oratory, but technically after this, you could try to make a faith roll to like heal him. If you'd like to. That's
geez, I always fail faith rolls. My oratory's not great. I was
gonna say that sounded like an oratory though.
It was, yeah.
You can fork in things though, I think.
So do I get any benefit for having just wrecked this guy and for also the fact that it's letting you make the roll in the first place, right? Like Valeria wouldn't be convinced, or the other nobles wouldn't be convinced of this right now unless this has just happened. Wait, can I make an ugly truth roll?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So much more likely to succeed at that. All right.
Do you have that skill?
Yes,
I do. Yeah.
I opened it during practice.
Same amount as oratory. So
I opened a bunch of social skills because I had so much training time while I was trying to learn Sword 9. So, all right, ugly truth. I would like to fork. Can I fork intimidation?
Yes.
Skewer to guy. Great. Can I fork oratory since it's kind of what I'm doing? All right. Can I fork command?
It didn't sound like you were commanding anyone.
Sort of. Yeah.
And these people aren't in your chain of command either.
Right. Yeah. Outnumbered wise, I'm outnumbered. There's a crowd.
Sure.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you. Persuasion?
This is going to be an Ob 4, by the way, for a complex political situation.
Oh, boy. All right. Persuasion?
Yes. And suasion, I think, unless you... Well, actually, you didn't say anything religious necessarily. It was just like Holy Knights, politics stuff.
Yeah.
And he gets 1 dice for pwn stomping this guy, right?
I don't think so. Like, it's just making the roll possible.
Gotcha.
Well, to be fair, I was planning to make this.
You were
going
to do this winning, no matter what.
But he kind of like made an idiot out of himself there.
You're right. Yeah, you can get 1 die for advantage then.
Thank you. I mean, he only made an idiot of himself because I said he was doing that, so I don't know if I get that.
I think that's definitely how it would have gone.
Okay.
Down. Yeah.
Cool.
What is the
for this ugly truth? 4.
Yeah. 4?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I don't think you can help Alphonse. You're healing him right now.
Can I add suasion if he adds to the end, like not just that, is this what we should expect from the Knights, but like put a more religious twist on it, like do we want to put the fate of our souls in people who fight with rage and dishonor and not with piety and dignity or whatever? Can I put like a religious bent on it to get 6?
Yeah, I mean what you just said, it seems fine.
Excellent. Thank you. This seems important. Oh no, I only have 1%. I got fate. It'll be all right.
Can I donate some to him?
No.
Darn.
What's
Op
4? Okay.
Yep.
Here you go, cross fingers. Hey,
nice. Even if it had been Ob 5, which is usually the highest an ugly truth is, you still would have got
it. Oh wow. See, I don't understand ugly truth. Like I get that you have to be telling the truth, but it just seems so much better than all the other ones.
So yeah, part of the issue is in terms of like actual mechanical stuff, usually it's not used to make people do things. It's just to make them understand the truth about some things, right?
Okay. Right.
Like
I feel like that's similar. If you've convinced somebody of the truth and they're probably going to like...
I think the nuance here is that instead of being like, oh, this is in our best interest, we need to start doing this now, you have convinced the crowd that this is true and they need to be way more careful and reconsider their allegiances and their goals, right? So there's going to be some shifting that happens here.
Court now, but they're not
in their court. Yeah, the ball's in their court. They need to figure out what they're going to do with it, but they at least believe it. Their beliefs will change because of what you just said.
Okay, that makes sense.
They'll probably change the way they're going about doing what they're doing.
I like the idea that ugly truth doesn't necessarily compel action. It's just you're changing.
Helps them see. I think really what it is, it's a belief changing thing, right? It's like you are getting them to believe something that is true, and that's going to change the way they do things. So
that's cool. All right, good deal.
So they now believe that if we went to war right now, we'd lose because these knights are not prepared. Like the kings
and also
are not
because
prepared.
We're not going to be in it.
Exactly, and the holy knights are better, and we're not going to have them. So this doesn't mean that they're going to not try to do the war. It just means that they might try to train better men, try to hire better men, try to. Some of the nobles might decide, we should go to the church instead. People might try to get the holy knights into the war. Like they're still going to revolve around the same thing. It's just they're going to try different actions.
Right. Okay. Good deal.
Cool.
So as soon as he finishes his rant, he's going to storm off.
Okay.
Because he's very upset.
Fair enough. I probably would be if I was forced to kill someone.
This was very annoying for him.
Cool.
And also he's seen Alphonse is healing him, so.
Yeah. So I think we should make the roll for whoever's going to heal the dude.
Yeah.
Now, do you have an idea, Alphonse, or you just like pass it off to?
You should use your.
I mean, I'll roll circles, I guess.
Because like if you had a good enough circles roll, you could like circles up someone who's really good, right?
Well, I mean, the king is here. He should probably find a surgeon, right? Like this is his best night, and he's just. Right?
It's going to be. There's no issue finding a surgeon. It's just like if Alphonse would like to find a really good surgeon, he could do that here.
All right. I just figured that the king would know and have the ability to command the best surgeon and maybe has him around. That's why I was.
No, I think the thing is Alphonse would be able to find like a magic person or a criminal person who would be really good at what they do.
Oh, I see.
That's outside of the king's.
Well, I mean, who's going to be better than Alphonse at magical healing? He's pretty good at that.
Alphonse, another thing that trained me. I was gonna say another thing that comes to your mind is you could also go to Sergio.
You could go to Sergio and have him have someone. There's a couple of NPCs I know that could do good things in this situation.
Yeah. Well, let's roll the circles first and see what happens.
Sure.
All right. So
so your intent exactly is
find someone who can heal this guy who's nearby.
So it would be.
You get more dice if you look for your teacher, right?
I mean, he has like born noble, page, student, and courtier. Someone in the noble court, or like probably someone who was a student at some point, is probably probably the best way to go about doing this. That's going to make the ob the lowest. So someone you met at some point in your student life path.
So he can't go to his magic healing teacher.
I mean, she just has the essential discipline as well.
Right.
So yeah, she has essential discipline. He needs someone with surgery or the physical discipline. That's going to be the best chance he has.
Gotcha. Okay.
I circle
Siegfried. Or Gorath. That's his name. Yeah. Right.
I think this is going to be an ob 4 for what you actually want.
Dang.
No. to circle someone with like either surgery or the physical discipline, that's going to like have a really good role for this. Otherwise, like you could circle up Varelia or go to Sergio or the king, and they can find someone too.
Wait, do I have Sergio as a relationship unlocked?
You do. Yep.
But should I?
You should at least.
Okay. Because I added it, I think, last time, but yeah, I figured I should like actually ask.
No, so you should have had it on there.
Okay.
Oh no, actually, I think I specifically didn't give it to you because you burned your bridge. That's what it was.
Okay.
I gave people different relationships. If you added it yourself, then I don't think it was meant to be on there. Yeah. You've burned your bridge with Sergio and don't have him in yours.
Gotcha. Oh, I have Narani.
Or you know what? Actually, this is what it would be. Alfons, you still have him in your circles.
Yeah, it would just be a hateful relationship.
It's a hateful relationship. That's what it is.
Yeah, Narani's a good call.
Would Narani do something?
Again, Alphonse doesn't have faith, so he can't just like get her to do miracles for him.
Oh, you don't have bargaining either.
That's exactly, and that's what you're doing right now with the role you just made is using Narani's power to.
Oh, that's
heal him,
true.
right?
Yeah, I
guess
that's fair.
That's the only real connection you have to her is like through the magic stuff. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, what was the op for service?
4.
Oh, jeez.
So this is to find someone who's going to be better than someone like the one.
So I get +1 for my affiliation, right?
Which one?
Nobility of Ceran.
Sure. Yeah, that would flavor who you're finding, but yeah, that's fine.
Do I get Hero of the People?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
And you can't fork in skills to this, right?
No.
Okay.
You can make link tests with Wises, but that's it.
Oh.
Can I help him?
It sounded like Dellon stormed off.
I did, but I still have a reputation.
Does Dellon come back?
No,
to help, but yeah, that's what I thought.
So what you're saying is,
but if Alphonse goes to look for somebody, then he could come find Dellon.
Yeah.
If we want that to happen in the narrative, that's fine.
I'm being cheeky. It's all right.
It really just, I guess what really matters here is, does Dellon care enough to like stick around and help with this thing? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Are Wises based off of perception?
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll an untrained Dr. Wise.
Okay.
But if you fail that, it'll make it harder.
Exactly.
Oh, you want it to be harder. Okay.
I want to level up perception.
Well, no, I mean it'll make your circles roll harder.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I need one challenging perception test.
It's gonna be an ob 2, Dr. Wise, Alphonse. So yeah, put that in being learned as perception, and then put it the ob as 2, and it'll double.
Isn't that gonna be a routine?
I think he has a 3 in perception.
Yeah.
Alphonse
does. Not routine. Okay.
Well, I don't need a difficult. I need a challenge.
Yeah,
be difficult.
I didn't realize how low your perception.
Caleb, I need a challenge.
How is your perception lower than mine?
Because I started with the game with I think 2.
Oh, because you had gray, right? I forgot.
Yeah. I have a gray fort and I have a gray will.
Yeah, it's the same reason that I started the game with 3 power, 3 agility, and 3 speed.
Yep. I want to find a magic.
3 fort.
So
right.
it'll be 3.
Yeah, but the if you're rolling magic doctor wise, then yes.
Oh, I'm rolling magic doctor wise.
So the issue is you're not actually rolling. This isn't the roll to know a person who is a doctor. This is a person. This is a roll to have you get one die, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's mechanically happening here.
Well, and here's the issue, Jared. The more specific the wise is to the thing you're looking for, the lower the ob. So if you want a higher ob, you don't want to be less specific. You don't want to be different. You want to be less specific. So you might want to be like expert wise.
Expert wise would be the thing you want.
Or like, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe trained expert wise or
I don't know what like lines. Higher learning, like whatever you'd call a person with a like professional wise, maybe.
Yeah, professional. Let's do professional wise.
So that would be a higher ob because it's less specific. I don't know what the ob would be. That's
I'll make that ob 4.
So now this is gonna double in ob. So if he fails by like 6, does he add 6 dice or 6
No,
obs?
it's always a +1 ob.
Oh, it's just +1. Okay, I thought it was. Jeez, I thought it was.
So you got your challenging perception. You're welcome, Jared. But you get a +1 ob to your circles.
4. Okay. So circles. Now I'm gonna roll a mage one. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, you want to?
Wait, really? You're just gonna let me farm stat increases?
I mean, mage wise is probably gonna be like a 3 or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be a difficult, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you get tests in Bloody Versus? Can I get a difficult sword test?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't need anything else, so unless it's difficult, it doesn't matter. But I don't know how they work.
So he got what? I don't think that your routine, Matt. You wouldn't get a routine for the. I think it'd be one of the tests. One of the either attack versus defense or defense versus attack. One of those would count. Like the numbers going back and forth.
Right.
But not both. So let's see. It was.
I don't remember what the numbers, and there was fate involved, which doesn't count.
Yeah. I think his was 9 successes, and so ob 9 against.
Because for you talking about his defense,
you had like attack. 12 versus. How many
dice 12, but some of them were.
How many dice did you have? That's what matters at the beginning. So 11, right, for your attack, or is that defense?
Yes, 11 was for my defense versus his 8 attack. Or sorry, no, not his what did he roll? That was just his. He got 11 also.
No, yeah, but it's his successes versus your dice pool. That's what matters.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So 8.
So,
but 8 he 11. Spent fate, right?
Doesn't. Yeah.
So he had more 9. Successes
9
before
versus
I
11.
roll.
9 versus 11.
Okay, which is not challenge or not difficult, is it?
Let's check.
Because I didn't get one from doing, or no, I got a challenge.
It would count as a difficult.
It would?
Yeah.
Yes. So 10, baby.
Yeah, because I mean, it doesn't list like that high of an ob on here. But well, here
you could scale the math. No, don't do it.
I think by the scaling of the math, it should work. But let me call it real quick. How many dice did you have? 11.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna roll it real quick. Yep, difficult.
Oh, thank goodness. Yes.
Hey, you got it. That random roll that I made. Yeah. So yeah, what a thing to get 10 sword on.
Yeah.
Murder a dude you don't want to.
There you go.
Congrats. No, that actually works. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The dice worked out in your favor there.
Yay. G10.
So yeah, Alphonse, did you want to make any more?
Sorry, I interrupt there.
I didn't even notice that you were making rolls.
Yeah, I already failed.
Okay, sounds good.
Wait, 0 out of 6.
You're not going to have anyone else make rolls? I'm not the only person there who knows.
No, I think this is what happens, Alphonse. You do find someone, it's just not, and you think it's a good person. So this is who you find. You know that Sergio has, so do you remember the guy who
Caleb?
Yeah.
Yes. I go to Sergio, or someone who knows Sergio. I'm like, hey, the king's #1 knight is like gonna die. And Sergio tells the guy to let him die.
No. What happened? No. This is what happens instead. Alphonse, you go to Sergio, maybe hoping that something like that would happen, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, Sergio sends or like you get in touch with Sergio's court or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. However it happens, you get in touch with Constantino Bell, who is the guy who put the curses on all of you.
Oh, cool.
He has
that guy's
physical
not dead?
discipline. Nope. Sergio, he's still around. He's helping Sergio.
What?
Remember, he took over the Inquisition.
Yeah. That guy's not dead? I gotta fix that. All right.
And that might have been one of the like questionable decisions that Sergio made.
Jeez. I didn't know that.
I think he might be like retired. I don't know if he's like officially in any like church capacity that you know of, Dellon. But he's still like alive. And he's like, he has a great physical discipline, which is one of the reasons he's been kept around. It's just a waste to kill someone like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But I think what's going to happen is this guy is going to try to heal Furio, but he's going to add a twist of his own. You know?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Do what he did to us.
Yeah, he's going to put the mark on him.
Do it.
Something along those lines, right? Basically, yeah, maybe make a servant for himself or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to help him with whatever he's doing.
What? No, this is not a good thing. Don't do that.
But I don't know it's not a good thing.
You already helped.
Yeah, I'll help again.
Let me just check what he can do here. He's just doing it as if it's surgery. Which would be figure out what the role is here. Treatment for a mortal wound with surgery. It's ob 7 by itself, but he gets a +2 ob because he's doing it with physical discipline. So it's gonna be an ob 9. I'm gonna make it an ob something else probably to like add a little twist to it.
Oh yeah, because he's trying to.
What do you guys think?
What was the base ob?
Base ob is 9 for him.
Oh my goodness!
All things considered.
I mean,
I feel like if he's at the point where he's rewriting this guy's guts and ob 9, I feel like whatever he's doing to like imprint a time bomb or whatever is probably easier. I feel like it wouldn't be that much harder. Then. Sure, yeah. That makes sense.
Just increase by 1.
He's just gonna blow the guy up on accident.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'll heal you. Just deatomizes.
Can I essential discipline Constantino to make his roll better?
You can probably just help him with essential because it's just a magic roll being made.
Oh, well, I thought I had to roll for that to see how many dice.
Because he's making a magic roll, you can just fork it if you'd like.
Because you can help magic.
You can help.
Yeah, but I can add.
If you wanted to get the higher dice, sure.
He wants a test.
What is your saying. Here? What's your essential at?
It's 5.
Well, then you already give 2 dice automatically.
But what if
help gives 2 dice. 7 gives it to yourself.
Oh, help! Yeah,
forking.
That's forking 2 dice. Okay.
Because I mean, I get a challenging test regardless because this is an ob 10 that I'm helping with.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh right, I forgot you get tests for help.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, I might be getting a difficult roll if I roll 3 to help him. But hey, you're fine. You've convinced me for the challenging roll, David. I'll go +2.
2 help from Alfons. 2 help from his 7 alchemy. 2 help from his 7 anatomy.
Jeez.
He'll add in astrology. He's also going to add in.
How old is this man that he has like 4/7 skills?
Who knows? He has the physical discipline, so he could be as old as he wanted to be, and no one would know.
I guess that's true.
I've got essentially 3 7 skills comparatively, and
that's true. I guess to be fair, it's just that I've got a 10 and a 6 and a 5. It's not that bad.
He's also going to add 2 dice for his 7 taxidermy.
Still. What? Why is he so good at taxidermy? What?
Dude, I love
this guy.
Let's get this guy in our party.
Is this a help breaker?
By the way, this guy is played by Michael Emerson, the guy from Lost, the creepy guy from Lost.
Which creep? Oh, that. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like which
headcanon now is that this guy is an apostate hellbreaker, and that's the only reason he has a million skills and random dumb stuff you never commit your life to as a church person, unless you had.
And he also has a call on trait, right?
No, he might. Let me check.
Or magic. What is he rolling?
He's rolling physical discipline.
Yeah, he has a call-on trait for physical discipline.
He does not have a call-on trait for
I don't think there is a call-on trait for magic.
No, there's not.
Because
Technically, because enchanting has a we don't have enchanting in this game, but like I have a character. There's a character in We Below who has nimble for enchanting because it's slightly based on it's half based on agility. So you can do it that way.
Cheeky.
Yep. All right, cool. So he'll do Ob 10. He's not gonna spend Persona on this. Oof.
Oh no.
That was so bad. He had 19 dice.
Goodness.
He has a 10 in physical discipline. He'll spend Fate at least, though.
What a monster.
Nope. So this is
the guy just explode? Can the guy just turn into goop? Because he's trying. The whole point is he's trying to bring this guy's physical body to his will, and if he fails, I feel like the guy should just fall to pieces.
I think because this is the thing. If even treatment for a mortal wound, I believe. Right.
It's gonna get worse if you fail. He's already dying.
Let me check this.
This guy better appreciate how much of a session we've committed to keeping him from dying.
I know. Let's see. Treatment. Failed treatment.
I don't want to fight this guy.
Here we go.
You want to fight this guy?
No, I don't want to
failed treatment for mortal wounds. It's going to take a heck of a lot of time to recover. See the mortal wound heading following this section. Mortal wound treatment.
I don't like this guy's around. He's really dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
If the mortal wound stage... failed treatment. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, treatment and health tests are conducted at each stage of recovery. So he has to continue to do this.
So
failed treatment grants disadvantage to the health test equal to the margin of failure. So
so now he makes a health test and he has to pass or die, right? Pretty much. Is that how that works at this stage?
Yeah, so it's plus 3 ob to his health test to try to recover from this.
And I help him with his health test?
No, you can't. I think that well, I guess he could with essential.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, that makes sense. Basically, I think what happens, obviously the failure is it's harder for him to recover, but also he did something to his brain, but not what he wanted to do. So he's going to be like crazy or something when he actually wakes up. But it's not like what Constantino wanted him to be.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what we need. A guy with 9 or 10 sword, or 11 dice on sword. If he's no, it's because he was fighting me.
Okay, so I guess here's another option. Which option do you like better? Is this like normal failure and there's something weird about him, or does he die? Kind of. Does Constantino do something to him that means that Furio doesn't exist anymore and he's now like some monster? And so Constantino comes back and is like, yeah, he died. I'm so sorry, but he actually has like a monster in his basement now.
Becomes the mountain where they just reanimate his corpse.
We brought Constantino here. We didn't bring him to Constantino.
It would have been way better to bring him to Constantino because he has like a lab. He has like a surgery.
Okay.
He has like all of his tools and stuff there, and yeah.
You putting him in a stasis is probably what allowed him to be moved at all.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Because I think it would be really fun if Constantino brings about it again at some point, and Dellon has to fight like a giant monster version of this guy.
I mean, yeah, that's. I don't want him to have.
But I mean, I'm
this is the thing, right?
So I'd know. Is the
that's
problem.
True.
Okay, what would you do if Constantino said, like, I don't need your help, you should leave?
I would most definitely stay and be like, I have magic now, dude. I can help.
I'm trying to.
You also probably don't trust this guy.
The issue is
definitely
the issue for me is that I don't think it's as interesting to just have him fail treatment over and over again, and because he'll either way, what's going to happen here is he's out of the game.
Well,
he's
we
just going to slowly recover.
Have him roll his health stat first, and then decide what happens from there. Right?
Well, no, because the difference would be: does the failure here mean it's normal failure, or did he do something wrong and create a monster?
I think it might be fun if he dies, right? He did something wrong and killed him. And then he's like, "Oh no, he's dead. Goodbye, Alphonse." And then he,
and
with
then
the physical discipline, just like brings him back. So I mean, he like keeps the guy's brain running just well enough that he can like reanimate him.
Would that be something that would be plausible, Alphonse?
I mean, he'd have to roll something probably, like a falsehood or something.
He did. He failed. That was the. Oh, you mean to lie to you? Yeah. Technically, it's not a lie if he tells you he's dead and he's dead.
And it wouldn't even necessarily have to be Constantino knows that he can do more and sends you away purposefully. It could just be like, oh well, he died.
I have a body.
I'll prepare the body for cremation, I guess. And then he realizes, oh.
I roll an empathy check on my way out, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay. What's that?
On this guy's 9 will?
It'd be Ob 4 for reading an intent.
Oh, right. This isn't will based.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't think he's saying stuff to you so much as you can see you might be able to see in his eyes what he's planning on doing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is he a noble?
Good question. Let me check. He is not.
Is there court gossip about him?
Yes, probably.
Okay. I'll fork that into my empathy.
Yep.
Oof.
That's failure.
I mean, may as well. I've got 30 fate.
That's fate.
30 fate? Fuck.
Yeah, that's a no.
Well, now I have 30. I had 31.
Wow. That's insane.
Because I get like 5 a session.
And he usually doesn't spend 5 a session.
Yeah.
Hopefully the fact that we are doing, you can spend 2 fate will help bring that down a little bit. But
were we not doing that before?
No, we weren't. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah. So I think that's what happens, right? He dies on the operating table. Alphonse leaves, and then Constantino puts his gloves on and his goggles and starts his mad science stuff. I love it.
Are you gonna tell him, or am I gonna tell him? I'm talking to Constantino, to the dad, to True, about True.
Yeah, Constantino says, "Do not worry. I will inform him. I'm sure that the soothing words of a priest will bring him comfort." Gives you a creepy smile.
Yes, soothing. That is the word I would first use to describe you. Are we cool?
Oh yes, of course. It was purely academic for me, Alphonse. Don't worry. If you would ever like to give your body for science, though, I am happy to accept.
Maybe someday. How's Uncle still mad?
He frowns. Mad at you, certainly. You've burned many bridges, Alphonse.
Yeah. Good thing we're still friends, right? Constantino.
I am more than willing to be allies with you, Alphonse, if you so wish it.
Oh, dang it. Should I roll a persuasion to persuade this guy?
So Constantino quirks an eyebrow, and he says, Alphonse, have you visited your son since you've been in town?
Son? I had a daughter, but
so Alphonse, you knew that Ipina was pregnant when you left.
Oh, for sure, but he for sure like repressed the heck out of that.
Okay.
Probably isn't going to admit it either.
He chose to like not like
just deleted it from your brain.
Yeah, he 100% repressed that memory.
Okay,
did you actually not know, or
it's in your it's in his subconscious?
I think it's in my subconscious that I mean he thinks he knows, but I mean, how sure can you actually be?
Sure. Yeah.
So he's just in denial,
but he's also like in denial, like repressed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like even like within knowing he's not 100% sure, because I mean it's a baby.
Right.
And the thing is, I think what Constantino says is, "Oh no, of course you're right, silly me," and then just like turns back.
He has no
puts a white cloth No, I don't think he because you don't know about it. I think he would rather keep use that information, like the fact that you don't know anything about this, like as an advantage against you, and not fill you in.
Is that another empathy roll?
I think the way you just described Alfons and your failed empathy roll from earlier, I think you just maybe delete this conversation from your brain too, right?
Yeah.
It just doesn't register.
Okay. Is there anything else he wants to?
No.
Should I try to get this guy on our side, David?
I don't know. This guy, I'd rather he was just dead. This is a lot of sketchy in one guy with so many high stats.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be better than him not being on our side, I guess. So sure.
There'd have to be some sort of concrete thing you're telling him. Yeah. It couldn't just be like, hey, yeah, let's be friends. I have this thing that we're doing.
How do you feel about how it's been a while since I've talked to my dearest uncle, but how do you think he's been doing?
Let me look at his beliefs.
I haven't exactly kept up with the court gossip as such.
I haven't checked Facebook in a while.
I think this guy says, I believe Sergio is doing a fine job. He certainly has treated me well, all things considered. He has been filled with the grace and mercy that befits his station towards those who maybe were on the wrong side of a conflict in the past.
Well, I'm glad to know he's surrounded by such trusting allies, and I think that's where I'll leave it. Yeah.
So you just want to be like, okay, you're creepy. I don't trust you.
He's creepy, not trustworthy, and I already failed my empathy, so I'm not able to roll another empathy, so I'm not able to get a read on him. So I think he just assumes he's very loyal to
Sergio.
Sergio, yeah.
And so you won't be able to turn him either way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, quick, Jared. I need to help you do something.
I'll give him some armor.
Belief about it. Oh yeah, hey, that could be a thing we wrap up here. Alfons, you just go to Dellon after the fact, and maybe you guys like talk through everything that happened. You fill him in with what happened with Constantino, and then you move on from there to like more mundane matters. Unless you guys had a thing that you wanted to talk about based on what happened.
I mean, do you want to play that? I mean, I'm not in a huge rush right now to leave, so as long as you guys aren't, we can. Okay.
Perfect. Well, I assume it's been a couple hours since that.
Yeah, I
mean, this is the evening this was happening, so it's probably late at night at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Dellon went to like vent some steam on some like, he's like gets everyone together from the Holy Knights like train, but in reality he's just whooping the crap out of them because he's mad.
Sure. It's like, why is he so angry?
He's like, here, take this wooden sword. We're gonna train now. He's just like.
Yep.
Today's training is pain. All right. So once he cools down a little bit, I feel like he'd probably go and try and find Maria because I haven't seen her in a couple of days and stuff has happened, but we can leave that to later. So
I mean, depending on how much time you have.
Right. I mean, I guess.
But at the very least, for now, we should just have this conversation with Alfons.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe Marty is not in the city right now for some reason or another, or like just not.
At the very least, she's maybe not in the conversation right now.
Yeah. I just figured because you had stuff with her that you wanted to talk about. So if
the stuff that she wants to talk about, she actually wouldn't want to talk about in front of Alfons. Actually,
all right. That's fine.
I think for we can even say that she's there when Alfons shows up, but like she.
Sure.
She has a brief conversation with Alfons, like, good to see you. I'm glad that you're helping with everything that's happening. I'm going to go put the baby to bed sort of a thing and heads out.
And Dellon's probably told her like, yeah, so I talked to the True and he's on our team, but also I killed his son. So my bad.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not telling you that about the talk he had with True.
Well, right. But like Dellon knows I was saying he's on the church's team.
Oh,
at least, yeah, right? I convinced him to be on the church's team, and one of the conditions of that was that I would duel his son, and that just didn't go very well. So
I'm just like, he did.
He didn't survive.
Nope. And Constantino is a weirdo.
Yeah, I'm not. Does Dellon know he's still? I feel like Dellon's like. Wait,
I think it's one of those things where like you maybe knew that he got spared a long time ago, but you like maybe are thinking like, wait, that guy's still around.
Yeah,
like.
Yeah, so I think he just quirks an eyebrow. He's like, Constantino.
Yeah, the guy who put the weird curse on us.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, Sergio's employing him still.
Really interesting. And he couldn't. I mean, he could turn our bodies into gelatinous goo, but he couldn't fix a sword wound.
I guess not. The physical discipline. I mean, it's not my forte, but
just one seems harder than the other to me. I don't know. Yeah. Well, all right. I guess it is what it is. Well, it's been a long day, Alphons. I feel like I need to take my mind off of things. Do you want to wait? Do I have a trait that says I don't get drunk? I don't know. Does Dellon drink? I don't remember. I don't remember this conversation.
I don't think he does. You made a big deal about Alphons being drunk in the first season.
Well, you made a big deal about me convincing all the priests.
No. Yes, it was that you got
the
like
on duty. Yeah.
Drunk. Yeah. And I don't have an instinct or a belief about not being, or a trait about not being drunk. So, yeah, I mean, in this case, I think he like, should we get something to drink?
It has been a long time since I've had a drink.
I'm sure there's an ale house open somewhere. Great.
Yeah, you guys probably have at least wine somewhere in the house.
Yes. Oh, well, yeah. Cellar. I mean, I figured we'd go somewhere.
Go out to
and,
drink? Yeah.
Get in trouble probably. But yeah. Great.
So, I'm gonna wait for him to get drunk, and then I'm gonna roll persuasion for him to get me some armor.
I don't know if he intends to get like drunk, but he'll probably. I don't think he drinks much at all.
Dellon
has
already the trait discipline, so I doubt he would let himself get wasted.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think this is his being like cutting loose, is drinking it all.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, but yeah, no, we probably just go to like an ale house somewhere.
Yep.
Unless Alphons has a watering holy lights.
Wait a minute. Do you have a whatchamacallit? Where is it? An instinct about Alphons at all? Like not losing to Alphons?
No.
Ah, darn. I was thinking
I have never leave a word against the Holy God on challenge. Do whatever it takes to win when something more important than myself is at stake, and never go unarmed. I guess.
Yeah, they bring us they like bring us our like I don't know, maybe like second or third round of drinks.
Yeah.
And then Alphons like motions to use like to the cup. He's like, well, I know something I can beat you in, and then he like downs it.
Drinking contest.
Yep.
Yes.
Let's do it. Neither of you have the skill.
Dellon just shakes his head, and I want drunking. I'm not a dwarf, but I want it.
Yes.
And
would I have to roll something to like entice you into that?
No, I mean, I think Dellon just shakes his head and he says, Alphons, there are many, what's the word? Starts with the D. It means sinful. What's the word?
Debaucheries.
Transgressions.
We'll go with it. There are many debauched things at which you could best me, Alphons, and I do not care to attempt to change that. He just like slaps you on the back and like takes a drink, like a small drink.
Could Alphons convince you to do a drinking contest with him with some skill?
I don't.
It's fine. We don't need to go down there.
It just doesn't really seem like the thing he would do.
I just think it would be funny, especially because Alphons has a gratiated fort, so he'd actually be really good at this.
I feel like it's more likely that you could just manipulate him to drink too much.
Keep drinking without realizing it. Yeah.
And be like, basically just try like set the pace and then be okay, and he won't be right. Like, I mean, he doesn't drink, so he probably has no idea where his.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe like I would say falsehood or something like that, or inconspicuous, or something like you're just trying to keep his attention away from what he's doing.
Yeah, inconspicuous is a good one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Would that be against his perception or observation, or
I'm assuming I'm doing observation, which I have 3 in,
so
so
that's not that
Let's see.
Well,
I don't think I get any forts.
I guess
there.
Forkin Falsehood did that.
Mm-hmm.
And
noble,
noble-wise, I guess he's a noble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how to goad prissy nobles into drinking with you.
Discipline isn't a.
That was bad.
I only had 4 really dice.
Discipline isn't a die trait, right? It's it's just a. Okay.
Yeah, it's your character trait.
Yeah,
Obus 2, Dellon.
Oh yeah.
Attaboy.
Do you want to fail or spend a fate?
Oh, I could. Well,
if you spend a fate, I'm going to spend a fate.
That's true. I'll fail. It's all right. I'm not. Yeah, sorry.
Sounds good. I think this is funny.
Yeah,
I added drinking to each of your being learned. Just go ahead and roll it. Just at ob 0 and.
Oh, great.
We'll see who gets more successes, right?
Hey, this is a fort. Okay.
Yep. One of the very few skills based on fort.
Yeah. Mine's gray, right?
Yep. Should
automatically. Oh, it is. Yeah.
This is probably the reason more than anything that Alfons has a gray fort.
To drink, yeah.
2.
All right, so David got a 2.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. 3.
Nice.
So would that be a 3
it would have been
2,
it would have been base on 1.
Okay.
Because you're both rolling, right? Like
okay. So it's just
as if you're
for each of us then.
So it would be, let's consider this, if you're just rolling fort,
mm-hmm.
David would have rolled 2 and you would have been rolling 3 dice against 2,
mm-hmm.
which is what? Sometimes these aren't intuitive.
How does that work for me? Because
that's a routine, and it would be the other way around. So, you just get a bubble towards drinking, Alfons.
Okay.
David.
I'm sure
I have 4 dice against ob 3.
Mm-hmm. Wait.
Which?
Oh, never mind. Wait, what? I'm so confused. How do I have 6 aptitude but only 4 fort?
6 aptitude is it's 10 minus your stat.
Oh, right, 6. Yeah, highest bad. Okay, right.
Yep.
I think I took this backwards.
So you rolled. You rolled 4 dice against ob 3. That is a difficult for you, so you can mark a difficult on your fort.
Nice.
Dellon. So this was easy for Alfons, but not so easy for Dellon.
Right.
Yeah, so is this like Dellon passes out, or Dellon just gets too tipsy to continue, and like Alfons
my intention was to get him drunk enough to where he'd be like more willing to get me some armor.
So he's a little bit looser than he would be otherwise. Yeah.
Right.
Sure, you can take a +1 ob or +1 die to whatever you need to do to convince him of this, I guess.
Not that you needed it. I have 6 will. It'll be fine.
So Dellon, I've been thinking, you're like a holy knight and all.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like the commander. You think you could get me some like? I saw like how you kind of just like murdered that guy. I could really use some armor.
I was self-defense. All right.
Well, yeah, okay.
Told him to stop like 4 times.
Semantic. I know, but I need some armor, or I'm gonna die.
Don't you have armor? You have that crappy golden stuff that you flaunt.
That's what do they call that? Garbage.
Useless?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
We're kind of just for show, for? And well, I mean, we're gonna be fighting demons.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
And I fight now.
Yep. Wouldn't armor slow you down if you're teleporting around and doing barrel flips and stuff?
Teleport the armor with me. I didn't last time because it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool to just leave it there and attack it from behind.
Can you teach me how to do that? I could teleport an armor.
Maybe. Let's try it. Let's try it.
Tell you what, I'll trade you. Teach me how to teleport. Get your armor.
I need the armor. Well, yes, but I need the armor before you learn to tell.
Let's make the roll now, and then we can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean, Alfons has a belief about this, so I assume we wanted to actually make a roll so we can.
I have a real idea as to what he might require about Alfons for this too. That would be fun. So.
Mm-hmm. So am I rolling persuasion?
I think so. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like.
I mean, bullcrap wise, because I don't really think I can teach him to teleport.
No, of course you can't. Yeah. Bullcrap and falsehood can go into there, no problem there.
And then the one for him being drunk, and I guess noble wise, because why would I not fork in noble wise?
Yep.
I could probably fork more, but it's just against your will, right?
Yeah, I have 6.
6. Oh, maybe I should. Haggling.
Well, you have the one from me being drunk also. If you didn't.
Yeah, you already had that one.
Okay.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3. So 5.
Good luck.
14 dice or something. The gray.
Something like
would be fine. Watch, you're gonna get like 2 successes.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness. Nice.
That was a good roll. All right, cool. So what do you say, Dellon? Does it just go how we said, right? Where it's like, you teach me to teleport, and or is there some other thing you were gonna add?
So you said that you had to get the armor before you teleport.
Yeah.
All right. So I think you said. I mean, I know you succeeded the roll, so we can soften this a little if you want. But it says, sure, yeah. Thing is, so you can't wear our armor unless you're a holy knight. That's the whole point. So I have to like knight you and stuff, but I'm sure that's fine with you. So we'll do that, and then I mean, it's gonna take a while making armor.
The only way this is happening is because Dellon is drunk.
If I'm a holy knight, I'm not gonna be able to do stuff that I like.
What are you talking about?
I'm not gonna be able to use my body to convince people to do stuff they don't want to do.
Listen to
that was
me,
the
Alphonse.
Worst way to describe that.
It's already illegal, Alphonse. You already can't do that.
Oh. Well, okay. We'll forget about
just get married, Alphonse. I do what I want to do whenever I want to do it because I'm married. That's how it works. I mean, well, obviously not quite that freely, but you know what I mean.
I'm surprised he didn't latch on to that. I'm gonna forget about what I did tonight then.
Oh, sorry, no, I
okay.
didn't hear you say that. You forget about what you did to what?
What? Nothing.
No, tell me what you said.
Oh, you said it's illegal to do that. I'm like, well, I shouldn't have done what I did today then.
Oh, today. Okay, that was the right answer.
I guess not tonight because it was during the evening.
It was in the evening, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, we'll sit down and talk over you because I did on an accident and he didn't hear you. Yeah. Yeah, so he's like, just get married. You can do whatever you want whenever you want to do it.
But not with whoever.
No, but that's already too, Alphonse. It's called wow, what's it called? Fornication. All right.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
I almost got executed for that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's cool. It's good that you remember that. But
could you get me some armor that's not like, could we just like scratch out the holy symbol and like paint it a different color?
Can you blaspheme God, please, Dellon?
No. Also, so here's the thing.
Because the guy you fought had armor, and he's not a holy knight.
If I knight you, then I can commission you armor, right? If I don't knight you, someone has to pay for it. Are you going to pay for it? I'm not going to pay for it.
I empty my wallet, and I have exactly 1 resource's worth of dice.
Yeah,
that's
like
1 resource is more than I have, Alphonse.
There's no way you have 0 resources.
No, Maria has the
and
money.
I promise you're not going to convince Maria to waste money on armor.
I am good at convincing people of things.
No, you don't get to talk to Maria. All right, that's the rule. All right, you don't get to go anywhere near her.
I won't seduce her. I'll persuade her.
You know what the difference is? I don't think there's a difference when you do it. Here's my point.
No, there is a big difference in the way that I
listen. All I got to do is knight you, and then it's free. Well, it's not free, but it's someone else pays for it. All right, the Sergio pays for it, I guess. I don't know.
Sergio won't be happy about that.
But it's not like I'm not going to write Alphons's armor on the commission. All right, it's just I'm going to commission a suit of armor for a knight.
Well, let's just go do it now then.
Are you going to teach me to teleport?
Well, yeah. And then I teleport like into something.
Teleport into the wall and yeah, it's just
great. All right, we're all gonna die. All right, listen. All right, come here. Maybe we should do this outside. And I go to like leave because I assume we're still at the ale house because we're drunk.
We hard cut and the door to the ale house swings open. You guys are stumbling like arm in arm, like
yeah. All right, and then I push Alphons over here, like I grab your shoulder and push you. I'm like, all right. I take out my sword, and then I was like, oh, by the way, do I have to shave your head and put the ring tattoo on it too? It's the uniform. So I take my sword.
Say that I'm like a special ops unit, like in disguise, so I don't have to do
that. Yeah, sure. All right. And then I like, listen, how about this? You can get the tattoo and then we'll just let your hair grow over it. All right. And then he rests his sword on top of your, like the flat of his sword on top of your head. And, it basically says, by the power of the what we call it, the ring. What's the name of the ring? Like the partial ring, what do they call it?
The circle, I think is.
Oh yeah,
like that's
but it's
right.
Like
it's like the cross, circle except for the circle. Yeah, I think you just call it the circle though.
Okay, yeah. So this is by the authority of the Serrano Church and the Circle. I dub you a holy knight of the Serrano or the Order of Serrano. Yeah. Do you swear to oppose any entity of how's it go? Basically just he says a bunch of vows, like you swear to fight the church's enemies and uphold the doctrine and in the face of tyranny and all that kind of stuff.
And Alphons rolls falsehood for every single one.
I promise or vow to fight against whoever you declare as our.
Oh, that's not how it goes.
What Alphons is doing right now is you're trying to get him to swear the oaths of the what is it called, the
chivalric oaths or whatever.
In Stormlight the
radiant
law
oaths?
People the ones that are like the super into law,
the Skybreakers.
Yeah, you're trying to get him to swear a Skybreaker oath, and he's like, my Skybreaker oath is gonna be you, Dellon.
That's funny. Yeah.
Whatever you say is law.
What's I say? Yeah, so he keeps correcting you and then gets frustrated that you won't say it right and just keeps going anyways.
So I'm assuming what in theory or in actuality, what's actually happening here, right, is that you're sort of giving him an honorary knighthood title and hoping that will be enough to get the armor, even though Alphons isn't going to be, actually a holy knight.
I don't know how much he's thinking it through at this point, but yeah,
right. So I think there should be a role on Dellon's part to actually get this, like not a resources role, obviously, but like some other role to like be able to commission this, even though Alphons isn't going through any of the proper channels.
Command?
And it could be command.
Because I'm basically just being like, this is a thing that the order needs filled, right? Like you
can do command. I think if you fail, like someone higher up than you, like Sergio, will be like, "What are you doing?"
But yeah, you should.
It's just an thing.
Along the vein of me being like the whatever special, not whatever stealth unit or whatever I said it was.
Yeah,
you should get armor that's not obviously holy knight armor.
Well, okay.
I mean, I don't know if there's like an insignia built into the metal itself.
Probably not.
The Holy Knights have the circle tattoo, and they probably, if they have anything, have like a tabard or like a sash.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was more that
imagine that there was like an insignia on his armor.
I think we have decided that I think it was in the it's like sashes that everybody has.
Okay.
Yeah, it was more that he couldn't get the armor for like free if you weren't part of the night. So
I was just making sure there wasn't something that
right.
Going to tie you.
It doesn't come with a badge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does come with a badge, but you can't. You can just choose.
I can just take the badge off.
Yeah.
So can I fork in persuasion? Can I fork in armored wise to this? Because it's armor.
Yeah.
I don't think so. It's armored wise, not armor wise.
It's true.
Yeah, he's armoring me.
No.
He's making me
armoring wise would be something different. Armory wise would be very applicable here.
I'll fork in my persuasion to help him out.
Yeah, you can help me.
I don't know if that would help anyone. I think they would just make it worse. I think this is something.
Fork in my noble.
Like everyone knows who Alfons is. If Alfons actually shows up in this meeting that you're getting them to commission it, this is not gonna.
I mean, he's gonna have to show up to somebody because they're gonna have to get his measurements and stuff.
Right, but I don't think Alfons helping with the role makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I do doctrine?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's all
it is true that someone who is made a holy knight can have armor commissioned for free, right?
Right, yeah.
Or out of the church's funds.
Right.
I buff him with the essential discipline before he goes in.
Sure, you can do that.
Oh, really? Great.
Yeah.
Can I use my can I get a bonus for being the commander?
Yes, yeah.
Sweet.
Advantage for actually being the guy in charge.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you get +2 for my discipline then.
Well, you got to roll.
You can't fork it because it's not a magic roll he's making.
Okay.
So,
but you can just roll it like you usually do.
You can do Ob 2 for. Well, it would be Ob 3 because it's against someone else. Well, let me check this.
I think you're right.
I'm
sure somebody else is automatically one more Ob.
So it's base Ob 2, and then single target +1 Ob, so Ob 3.
Okay.
Duration of the spell 1 test, so yeah, just Ob 3.
Okay. And we said a named ability that you have unlocked, like you've done however many times, that's +2 dice. Because just naming an ability gives you +1.
Oh, yeah. So if you have like it as a spell in your spell book, like as in like the aptitude is all completed, then that is an additional dice beyond the name. Yeah.
But you have to integrate it into the weave of your being to get 2.
Yep, I have.
He's already done
the one that I have.
Oh.
Because there was a couple of things that Alphonse has been doing for forever before we instituted this system. I gave him and Kentaris a couple of them for free.
That's good.
So
they've definitely done more than 10 times with those. So
yes,
especially Alphonse.
Nice.
Wow, that was a lot of 6s.
3. I always forget that it opened.
So it's just one, right?
One dice. Yep.
Thanks. What's the app?
Good question. I guess
this is a pretty routine thing, I would think. I mean, I'm commissioning new armor, so it'd be a little less than routine, not like repairs.
Let's make it Ob 5.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah.
Because it's just the will of the person, and I'm assuming this is like some holy knight armor who's super stubborn, maybe.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. No 6s.
I'm going to spend a fate, I guess. I don't really have anything else I can do about it.
Makes sense.
Wait, do I have a call-on for command? I feel like I have something that goes on with command. It's not a call-on. What is it?
Oh, you get a +1 die.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I got.
So just do fate for 2 dice instead of 1.
But the other one wouldn't have open-ended.
Well, it will be if you spend fate.
Yeah, but if I get a 6,
oh, right. I see. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna roll this one first.
Yep. Okay, no extra successes. Very good.
Okay, here we
go. You can spend a fate though.
I'm 2. 1 dice.
Nope. Okay. So I think this is what happens. So Dellon, you do this, and like the guy is probably fine with it. Like he's like, that seems weird.
He probably doesn't question it at all.
But someone hears about it, right?
Right.
Sergio. Sergio hears about it, and I think this is where we'll probably end the session, right? Is
great.
Sergio finds you probably like the next morning, right? After your hungover is over and you've commissioned this. Probably in the afternoon, I guess then. Whenever this happens. Doesn't matter. Sometime the next day. So where are you when Sergio finds you?
Probably like with the Holy Knight's base or whatever, like probably just doing drills or whatever, something like that.
Sure. Yeah, so you're running some of these Holy Knight acolytes through drills or whatever, and Sergio comes in with like this honor guard of the high priest, right? And so it's like a big thing, and everybody notices like him walking forward. And so I assume you just like stop the drill, and everybody pays their homage, like the bows and whatnot, right, to him. And
I think he goes to be like, "Hey, uncle," but he's like standing in front of a bunch of acolytes, so he's like stops himself and does the proper like bowing and
And Sergio like comes forward out of the honor guard and then says, "Holy Knight Dellon, may I have a word with you in private?"
What's his title?
High Priest of Ceran.
Of course, High Priest. And he turns to the acolytes, says, "Just run the drill again, and then just do laps till I get back. Good luck."
Groan.
Yeah.
They're gonna do the drill really slowly so they don't have to do laps.
Right.
But yeah, he probably leads you into, I'm imagining this is like some sort of like courtyard, and there's like that kind of ring of corridor around it, right? Whereas like the pillars, trying to think of what that would be described as, but like a walkway that's adjacent to the courtyard that has like it's open to the courtyard.
Yeah,
so you can
kind
see
of like a porch,
like
but
pillars.
not.
Yeah. But it's like a corridor leading somewhere, right?
Okay, yeah.
So you step into that, and
yeah.
Sergio waves off his guards, and he looks at you and he says, "You didn't tell me that Alfons was back in Lucerta." And again, as a reminder, Sergio is played by Viggo Mortensen, but like at this point, he looks like this. It's less like a grizzled wilderness Viggo Mortensen and more like an old, neatly trimmed Viggo Mortensen.
Nice. Okay.
So like the picture on the screen there.
Yeah. So yeah, he's like, "Honestly, I thought you knew."
He says,
"I figured it wouldn't. Nothing escapes you. I just
there
assumed
were
you'd heard."
rumors, but and then he kind of cuts off his sentence and starts a different one.
Yeah.
Alphonse is not welcome in Lucerta, especially not now. You will cease contact with him immediately.
What are you talking about? Why wouldn't he be welcome? He's my brother.
Alphonse has embezzled church funds and made himself a burden to what we're doing here.
He told me he was super in debt to Sergio, right?
I told you, I think precisely what he told you was that he owed Sergio a lot of money because, to pay for big training and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then he was planning on paying it back. And I think we settled on like the service provided through hunting demons and whatnot would.
That's what Alphonse wants to do anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. So he says, "Well, he did tell me he owed you a lot of money, but I mean, it makes sense."
I no longer believe the reasons he gave me for why he needed the money, and so it is officially embezzlement on the church's records.
What reasons did he give you?
He swore that he was doing good work and doing relief work in the countryside, but instead he has simply been training himself to be an effective killing machine, an effective sorcerer, to accomplish whatever ends he has decided to pursue. But I'm no longer interested in those ends. I'm no longer interested in Alphonse. He has alienated himself from this family and from the church.
Did you? I'm trying to remember because I said I was gonna not spill some beans. What beans was I not supposed to spill? We're hunting the cult, and I'm not supposed to tell him about that, right?
Pretty much.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
All right.
But I don't think was that a failed roll?
No, it was excessive. It was failed at first, and then we had like a one extra die that ended up mattering.
But what was the actual like? This cult is not. It's that there's like a demon in the church and all that kind of stuff, right? But I can tell him that we're chasing a cult, right? That wasn't part of.
So Cantarius basically was like, "Don't go to the church to help with this."
Oh, right. Okay.
Like we're doing this by just us, right? It's the Crow Inquisitors back again.
Right. Okay.
Don't get the church involved. Like you can use your resources, but like don't let the church know what's happening.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's probably a way to like
There's a way to finagle it, yeah.
Yeah, to still stay within that promise, but also give Sergio something to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would be the easy thing to say to Sergio. It's just like, Alphons is hunting demons and we're helping him. But like, that's not what you're supposed to be saying right now.
Right. Yeah, I think he says like, well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that he told you he was. I'm a little surprised that you believed that he was doing relief work. But I will say, whatever you spent money on to train him in magic, it worked. He almost fought me to a standstill when we met in the cathedral. And
he gives you a dangerous look when you say I believed you. I'm surprised you believed him, and then he probably cuts you off where I just.
And that is technically true.
What is
that? He did relief work, so to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it?
But I think. Okay. I think Sergio,
it is, and I think I told you that,
but not in the way that Sergio would think it.
I don't remember that,
and so
that's the first I heard of it.
Sergio, I think, cuts you off and basically says, Alphons was incredibly underhanded about it, and clerks and scribes who assumed that a member of the Ton family should be able to requisition church funds told me less information than I needed to make a proper decision about the way he was using this money. And by the time I found out many things, many coin, how do you say this? A large amount of resources were reallocated to Alphons when they should have been reallocated to the people.
I see. Makes sense. Well, listen, I understand that you're upset and rightfully so. But if Alphons has put such a heavy investment into his own skills, and he's here and willing to do things to make it, right, whatever. Shouldn't we just use that investment? Shouldn't you make use of him? He's, like I said, he's very dangerous now, in a good way. I mean, he's not any more dangerous than he used to be, except that he's much better at defending himself. And I mean, you know as well as I do that we have enemies and more with every passing day as this war this whole thing boils over. There's no reason he can't be as useful an investment as the money that you spent on him would suggest.
I think that's a persuasion roll. It's probably
can it be an ugly truth roll instead?
I don't think
I'm like,
so.
you spent all this money and you might as well make use of it instead of trying to waste it.
It sounded like more like this is in your best interest to, like, Alphons is here, we have to make use of it. Like,
then I say, and if you don't make use of it, you're just wasting all the money you spent.
You can do that if you'd like to. If you fail the ugly truth, it's going to be worse for you than if you fail the persuasion.
You can always fork the ugly truth into persuasion. But...
Yeah, I think that's fine enough.
Okay, I'll do that. I mean, I'm better at persuasion anyway, so it's just that I'm going to have a higher op.
So his will is 7.
What?
I have a feeling this is going to be higher, though. This isn't just like a normal thing to convince Sergio of, so I think we'll make it.
I mean, I feel like it makes sense. He spent a lot of money on this. There's no reason not to get his money worth,
okay, so you tell me what you want to be, like, what's the thing you're convincing him of? To use Alphons or to,
oh, no, I don't expect him to forget
with Alphons.
I'm saying my intention is to be like, look, you already spent all this money. He's here. He's effective. You should get your money back, like make use of him so that he's worth the money.
I think that's an ob 7. That'll be his base will. Okay. And what he'll do if you succeed is he'll basically be like, sounds good. I can call in all of my debt, and now Alphons works for me.
Right? Yeah, that's. Okay. I mean, that's how Dellon thinks it should be. Yep. Honestly,
sounds good. But if you fail, this will just be like, Dellon, you are forbidden from talking to Alphons. Like, he is dead to me. Like.
Right.
If I find you talking to him again, there will be repercussions.
Yeah. Okay. So Ugly Truth was 1.
Yep.
Not oratory because it's just us talking, right? We walked away from people.
Yeah.
Can I do command since he's technically one of my subordinates now, Alphons? He works for me now, technically.
You're working. You be commanding Sergio.
No, I'm going to command Alphons, and that's part of my persuasion.
If you had command wise,
am I wearing armor?
Can he fork in my reputation?
No.
The hero of the people. So I was actually doing.
If this was you making the roll, and you could like,
can I fork in my reputation?
Sure, you can get an advantage die for being the commander of the Holy Knights and having clout with Sergio.
Can I fork in because we're related? I have a relationship with Sergio?
Sure. You're one of the only people who could probably make this roll, right? So yeah.
And then Doctrine, he's entitled to armor because he's my brother, and he's like he's the son of the Pope and all that.
You can make a link test.
I don't know if you could just disown people like that.
Right. You could make a doctrine test to like make that whatever you would like to be about that situation true. I don't think the fact
prodigal son story.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, maybe there's a thing about like
Yeah, you know like what? Forgiveness is doctrine. Yeah. You can fork in doctrine. That's already true about the religion. It's like forgiveness and mercy.
Excellent.
Paying off the forgiving the really large debt against. The God has forgiven a debt against us, so we must forgive our debtors. That sort of thing.
Right. Yeah, and I'm basically just saying he should give him a reason to make it up too, like not even just forgive it. So.
Is it the year of Jubilee?
No.
He
can make a doctrine roll to make it the year of Jubilee.
Yeah.
It's today. the day that you forgive debts.
That could literally be true. It'd be a hard doctrine test, but Dellon could literally be like, turns out today is the day where you forgive all the debts of people. Yeah.
You gotta roll faith to open end.
I think that'd be a little awkward if I just sat there prayed in front of him.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to spend my persona because I'm going to get another one at the end of the session here, and the end of the session.
It's unlikely Sergio's, even though Sergio is kind of weird now, he's not going to just stab you. So
right, yeah.
Up 7. That wasn't bad for what you had.
No
but...
6s, yeah. I mean,
that's so bad.
Wow, you spent a lot of fate this session, Dellon. But you can spend
did.
More if you'd like.
Yeah. Oops, I didn't zero that out.
Difficult on persuasion isn't bad though.
No 6s either.
Oh, yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah, that was rough.
A lot of 2s.
Good luck on your fate.
Yeah, I'll spend a fate on it. Big surprise.
Another 0. Yeah, so Sergio just snaps after you finish that like line of argumentation, and he says, Dellon, as the vicar of the great god, I order you in the name of the church to cease all communication with Alfons immediately. We will not continue this discussion further. He is outlawed from this city and excommunicated from the church, if I can help it. And will be excommunicated from the church if he continues on this path.
What was the coin that he used to bring around, like a penance coin? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was the like pardoner coin. Yep. He doesn't wear it anymore. Instead, he has the
one?
No, I don't think Dellon does anymore.
I thought Sergio gave you one at some point.
He did it. I don't think Sergio gave him one at one point. It was something else. Okay. But instead of, so he used to wear his like partner coin on like a necklace. But now he has the ring of the bishop around it instead.
So yeah, I think Dellon just pauses for a little bit. He says, "You've changed a lot since being the man with the partner coins."
I have changed to be what I must, Dellon. And he just turns away.
I think he called out and he says, well, I guess this is a pantheon religion, right?
So it's the great god and then all the patron saints.
Right, yeah. So you would say gods, plural, right?
No, he would say patron saints, if anything, but most of the time you just say the great god.
That's right, okay. Yeah, so I say...
It's like Catholicism kind of, where it's like obviously God is the most important figure, but then they have like Mary and Joseph and all the saints and yeah.
So yeah, it says the great God hasn't changed. His word hasn't changed. Why have you?
That sounds like a suasion test. Or an ugly truth test. Forking in suasion.
That might be more possible.
Because like this wouldn't be you convincing him to like go back on what he just said. This would be you revealing the truth that he has changed and not for the better. And he has to think about that now.
Yeah, I agree. Cool. I'll do that. What's he after that?
That's a good question.
What are the ob categories? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's like ob 1 for the simple truth, ob 2 for truths about family, ob 3 for truths about friends, ob 4 for truths about complex political situations, and ob 5 for nuanced and delicate situations.
I mean, he's a family member, right?
It's either family or it's the nuanced and delicate, right?
Right.
I say fam. Is the nuanced one the highest?
Let's say 3.
Yeah, the nuanced one is that. Yeah, we'll cut it down the middle. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of complicated. But
he is family, but it's more complicated than just that. Yeah.
That's fair. Can I do suasion? You said, can I do doctrine? I didn't really like quote a verse at him or anything. But
yeah, I think suasion is the thing that you're doing religion-wise here, right? It's like, the great God.
Can I fork in persuasion? I mean, this is a little bit different than what I was, because I'm not persuading.
Yeah, it's a different scenario thing. Okay. Yeah, different.
And
then
still nobody around, so I can't oratory at him.
Yep.
Can I fork in instruction?
No,
because I'm instructing him to look at his past. I'm sort of I'm not technically teaching him anything, but I'm trying to use like a teaching technique of being like, you need to sort of being like, think about who you used to be and why you're that way and why you're the way now.
Yeah, that seems a little too thin to me. Yeah.
Too thin? All right, that's fine.
Yeah. If the whole thing came to like a point of theology and you were,
and he probably has at least as good of a doctrine as I do.
Yeah. So. Yeah, if you were talking to like an acolyte here and trying to convince him of something doctrinally, then instruction makes total sense.
I wish I'd saved my prisoner for this role, which actually had a chance of succeeding.
Yeah.
All right. What's the ob?
3.
3. Okay. Yeah. I forgot we said that. Gosh darn it. Kidding
nope.
me.
You did get a 6 on this one.
I got 4 ones.
Thank you, boy.
Oh my gosh. All right. Here we go.
You can spend 2 fate if you'd like.
Fate. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah.
You did get a 6. Yeah.
I got 1 fate. I think I had 10 at the beginning of the session.
I think you had 12.
Oh my goodness.
I swear, if you fail this one too. No.
For crying out loud, man. I even got a 6.
I know. Wild.
That's so frustrating. And I don't have any. Maybe I should have done faith to pray for it. I guess it would have been weird, but
yeah.
I'm trying to think if I have. I don't have any. Oh wait, can I get dice for the obviously me being family with him already, like our reputation relationship was kind of already factored in to the difficulty. But can I get dice for my being part of the church, my reputation, and my affiliations?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I'll give one more die here because you are like you out of anyone should be able to make this argument to him.
One more coin flip, I can fail.
Hey!
I did it! I saw the 1 success and I thought I rolled a 1 and I was like, but no, yeah.
That's great. Yeah, no, okay, so what was the last thing you said?
I said okay, so I said he changed a lot from the person who did the coins. He said I changed for what I need to be. I said God. Yes, look at you. That's so cute. And your little potion bottle. I said the great God hasn't changed. His word hasn't changed. Why have you?
Yeah. I'm trying to think if he has like a final statement there.
I mean, obviously the argument would be that you've changed to more closely apply to it, but I think he would have to know that's a lie.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, just
your ugly truth has your ugly truth has shown him that is the case, right? So sorry. You said like you should be changing to be closer to the great god.
No, so I said the great god hasn't changed, and his word hasn't changed. Why have you?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
He was saying
You're moving.
Changed.
You're moving away from
where you should have been. You're closer before, basically. Is what I was saying. Which I also think is a big thing for him to say, because Sergio and Dellon butted heads all the time, and Dellon was always just doing stuff that Sergio didn't agree with, because
and that's
Sergio
part of the
like,
thing
no,
that he's remembering in this moment.
Yeah,
right?
So I think that's an even more of like an impactful thing to come from Dellon, to be like, I think you're out of line here, because like that's saying a lot.
And I think like it makes sense for him to just say nothing and walk away, but I'm just trying to think if there's anything like a poignant statement he can make here that would maybe clue you in onto what he's actually going through right now and how he's viewing all of this. And I gave you got a success, so I think he should reveal something here.
You trying to unmute. Oh, I was saying I turned my camera off. I probably ruined everything. I was trying to mute myself and I missed.
I think he says, maybe we never knew who the great god even was.
Oh boy.
Never leave a word against the holy god unchallenged.
Oh gosh. Maybe I should have kept my persona.
No. This is what he says. Dellon, you were the one who was always saying that the church had added things to the doctrine, had misconstrued what God's will was. And then he turns to you, because he had turned away and started walking away. Turns back and he says, well, maybe the God in these books, the God of our doctrine, does not exist. And that's not him saying he's an atheist. It's just saying maybe none of this is right. Like,
it's not the way that, yeah.
And he just walks away.
Tries to. Yeah. Saying Dellon pauses. He says, "I think you're right." At his back, as he's like, and then just waits to see if that stops him or not.
Yeah, I guess it does. He waits for you to say something. Yeah,
if it does stop him, he says, "Ever since we were sent to butcher those heretics, the ones you met with, I've wondered that same thing. And I've only grown more certain of that as time has gone on. But I will tell you one thing, whatever the real truth is, whatever the great God really looks like, I still believe that he's forgiving and loving in a way that, what is the phrase, in a way that endures all transgressions.
Understanding. Well,
yeah, that too. Yeah, so maybe they both say something different.
Oh yeah.
It just I said that he said surpass all enchanting, and I say now I forgot what I said.
Something about transgressions.
I can't remember the word I just used, but survives transgressions. I can't remember. Endures. All transgressions, and I know there's a lot of weight on you, Sergio. I know you've had to do a lot of things that you have never done a few years ago, and I can't fault you for that. Me of all people, but I think you were right before, when my answer was always a sword and your answer was always the coin. I think you were right. Not that the sword's never needed, but anyways, I think the great God, whatever doctrine describes him properly, I think he prefers your ways to mine, your old way to mine.
Yeah, he says, if only somewhere upon our trajectories we had met in the middle. And then he walks away.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah, I think that's where we call it.
So when does Alfons get his armor?
He doesn't get his armor now.
I have one more avenue, I think, to explore to get it.
Giolina.
Yeah.
Is this? Am I under the impression that he's just not going to get it now? Like he put a stop.
He will
to
not
this,
get the armor.
just...
Yeah, he stopped it. Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep. He's vetoed your request for armor.
Okay.
But yeah, Alfons has other avenues to try to get this. So
I'll just give you mine, and then I'll requisition some more for me, which is a valid request.
Sergei will be looking out for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a little dinged up in that duel I just had. I need an entirely new set.
Yeah, I'm just kind of bored of this one. I've gained a little weight, or what Alphonse, I've lost a little weight. Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's.
Yeah, we'll worry about it later. Cool.
Let's do bits.
Yeah.
Give out Artha. Dellon, what you got?
The king has formed his own circle of knights. It's time to show them why the Holy Knight makes for a dangerous opponent, which I did more than I meant to.
Certainly did. Persona there. Yep.
Yay. Go away. I would like to reconnect with my brother after all these long years. I will assist him with whatever he is up to.
You tried.
I tried.
So date point. Yeah.
Okay. Maria and I are working to protect Ceran. Will convince this crowd that the war will only result in further devastation without the Holy Order.
You didn't, or you did it.
Yeah.
So Persona.
Cool. And on my blade of my life, I shall hold my enemies God at bay. I will determine if our new king is among them.
You tried, but didn't follow through after you failed. So yep. So right there.
Cool. Never go unarmed under any circumstances. I don't really know that I got in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, like if there had been a whole thing about like let's do fisticuffs instead of swords, and you had insisted on a sword, like that would have been a thing. But
I would say, well, I mean, maybe
I'll give you a fate point for do whatever it takes. You described it narratively as the only way you would have done this is if you needed to, because it's more important than yourself. It's not like so much getting you in trouble mechanically as it is like reflecting on the narrative in an interesting way.
Right.
So.
And then Jared mentioned never leave a word against the Holy God unchallenged, which is why I stopped Sergio to talk to him. I know that didn't get me into trouble really, but does that
I'll give you a fate point for the like reflects the narrative in an interesting way though. Yeah.
Thank you. And I don't think any of my traits got me in trouble. I did mold breaker my disciplined one. I got drunk. But
I don't think you got mold breaker, but yeah.
Or maybe not mold breaker, but like whatever the one is where you work against a. Well,
that would be mold breaker, but I don't think it was that significant.
I mean, I don't think we've ever seen him get drunk before. I don't know how often
I'll give you a fate point for it then. I'll give you a fate point for well, because you worked against it.
Isn't there one for like?
Yeah, it's Persona, but like it's supposed to be like significant enough that you're like actually working against it. And
I did do that, but I don't think it's for Persona. I'm fine with just a fate if it's okay with you, unless you think it should be nothing.
Yeah, the weird thing about it is like technically, like I'd be giving you a fate for, hey, disciplined came up in an interesting way, but it's like the opposite of discipline came up in an interesting way. I'll give you a fate point. I'll give you a fate point either way.
Okay,
that's fine.
Thanks.
But
I guess it's sort of everything for me. Yeah, it is. It is a little weird.
All right, Alphons.
Si, senor. I tried to
see your bits, Alphons. Do it.
Someone saw his bits today, but it wasn't Dellon. So find a way to get armor. You tried. You working on it. So fate point.
I did the first part of the second.
Technically, he did find a way. It just didn't work.
No.
He successfully convinced me. I just failed to come through.
Yeah.
He succeeded on his half.
That is correct. You're right. So Persona. Yeah.
Oh wow! I was not expecting. Okay.
I mean, I was saying it like it was a joke, but that was a real argument. You did. You did your part.
You did your part. It was just Dellon couldn't follow through. Yep.
Yeah. It wasn't your fault. I failed like 6 rolls.
I did the first part of my second movie.
That's true. Yeah, you were at the very least you didn't work on it in a like mechanical sense, but or I guess you did because of
I made a roll to convince her.
What was your other belief?
What's her face?
Any allies can be useful. I will see if Aza can be of use to us, but
so we didn't follow through with Aza,
right?
But with Damiana, so you need a fate point for it. Yeah.
Dellon is naive when it comes to the church. I'll make sure True's allegiance is set accordingly.
And you did it, Persona. So you will have to follow up with him and give him information about the order. But that'll be a future thing. So
yeah, his son dying kind of got in the way of that.
Yep.
Always find a reason to use my powers. That kind of led into the whole thing with not Vada, Constantino.
Oh yeah, so that and I think I would give it for you. Trying to see into the future to see what your visions were and getting cornered by Damian instead. So fate point there.
I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Yep.
Always try to surpass.
You know who we forgot? Yuma. We forgot she existed in this session.
I mean, I didn't forget that she existed. I just didn't think she'd be.
I guess she's just staying at Dellon's house. Maybe she was just talking with Maria.
Yeah.
Catching up.
Trying to surpass Dellon. The drinking kind of led to all of this.
Sure. Yeah, I'll give you a fate point for that.
Yeah, honestly, we put ourselves in a really. You got me in trouble. Like I didn't really get myself in trouble at all, but you got me in trouble with him. So I feel like there's probably some arts involved there.
I'll give you a fate point for it just might work for trying to go down the whole route with healing him and going to Constantino and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah.
I'll give you a fate point for licentious. Asa now knows that something went down. She doesn't know like for sure, but there's suspicion still because you went through with it. But I think that might be it. And then
I have a
other
call-on
stuff
for circles tests. Gosh darn it!
Oh really?
You do. Yeah. I think it's more interesting the way it turned out.
But
so it went well.
It went well.
It was good. Yeah.
Part of the issue is that no matter what, if all the successes had happened with the healing him thing, it still would have been like, okay, we'll see you in 5 months when he wakes up, right?
And to be fair, like you weren't going to get somebody better than him, just maybe somebody less sketchy. So I think it was fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's counted as, you know what? I'm just gonna move this. For some reason, it's listed in the game as a die trait, but it's just a call-on trait.
Okay.
What is? Oh, the circle
familiar face. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So I put it in die traits because like it was listed as it, but I think it's just wrong. Okay. So then it'll be more helpful to reference that. So other Artha stuff. I think you should both get humor fate points. Everything in the bar was great, right?
That was good. Not for our dirty jokes.
That was out of character.
Yeah, it's true. Sorry, is that a fate?
That's fate point. Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so fate point for both of you. I'll give you embodiment, Dellon, for this conversation with Sergio. Thought that was really good. That was
cool. I liked it. Was that fate also?
That's persona.
Oh, sweet.
I'm just trying to think if did Alfons have anything? Embodiment Alfons for repressing the memory of your child. That was really interesting. Yep. Yeah. So extra fate and persona for both of you from those. So
should give workhorse to Alphonse for seduction.
Workhorse would be at the end of the scenario.
whatever the right skill right time one is.
Yeah. That was a race.
Sure. Yeah. So you can get a fate for that one, Alphonse. That makes sense.
Sweet. I'm trying to think of anything else.
That's 7 fate. 6 fate I get from this. 7.
Yeah, I got 6 fate this session too, so that's solid. And 3 persona. That was a solid session for us. It helps when you're the only 2 people around. You can steal all your stuff.
Do you have more fate now, Alphonse, than you started this session with?
I think I have more fate than I started this campaign with. This season.
You're a monster.
And he keeps spending a bunch too. So.
Yeah, I know.
That's wild.
Oh man.
All right, very fun. I'm glad we got that all out of the way so that we can focus on the pairings now and it'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for playing, guys. This is Inquisitors, and we are out.
Adios.